It is either, there we go. All right. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's either real Randy Chavez coming at you today with a Veve Omi update video. Earth 2 as well. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, and smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Also, become a member. Join Patreon. RaythXIDTH domain name. If you are new to the channel, I do updates, videos, lives, videos every single day. Lives are some form of content is every single day. I go over all the pieces of news. I go over all the theories, everything, all the complaints that people have. We will start with some Earth 2. Let's take a look at some of the stuff that we have here today. We have a buddy of mine that I guess I could show you the photo because I won't say exactly who, but he is somebody that has quite a bit of essence. He has just passed that 300,000 essence mark. Yes, you are reading that correctly. 300,000 essence, like Chavez. Doesn't he have like a lot more than you? Yes, I only have about 40,000 essence, despite me having a megacity, link down below from Chaveztopia. Despite me being one of the main YouTubers for it, yeah, I don't have a ton. During the time when Earth 2, where you could put in, $20,000 and be, a king, unfortunately, what happened was that at that time, I was paying off that high-end Pokemon card, that trophy Kangaskhan. I was only able to put a couple thousand in at that time. I did wind up putting a couple thousand in later, but it was after, when I got in, you could buy New York tiles, you could buy basically North American, United States tiles for, I don't know, like $1.50. And those tiles, I think like less than a year later, were like $60 a tile. I remember making videos where there were some tiles, there were some pieces of land that people had bought that it was more expensive to buy in the Earth 2 video game than it was to buy in real life. Like you could actually go and buy the land in real life for less than the cost it was in the video game. It was absolutely wild. And that's when I knew, oh, this metaverse is going to be freaking huge. There are rumors that Facebook has been shutting down their metaverse, like, oh, Facebook gave up on the metaverse. I'm really not 100% sure where that rumor started. Oh god, I'm dying. It is fake news, though. Mark Zuckerberg is still continuing to spend about $25 billion per year. It was 20 the first year. He upped it to 25. He will sustain that for the next couple of years at least. And then you're going to have him probably up it towards the end of the decade, maybe 30, 35 billion a year, give or take, depending on how Facebook does. Again, Facebook is a behemoth. It is a beast. Has a bunch of the most popular websites in the world. And I know Facebook is really more for the older generation, kind of like my generation and above, but a little bit older my generation. But then Instagram, a lot of people my age use Instagram, and then WhatsApp. Most people in the world actually use WhatsApp. There's a whole bunch of people in there. Anyway, so that's where I'm thinking we have a ton of people coming into this metaverse at large, and which one's the best ones? Well, at NFT NYC this past month was nothing like it was the month before, showing that cream rises to the top. Only good projects are still left. A lot of the other crappier projects that didn't have working products, which I called in 2022, is like, these guys ain't gonna make it. And like none of them were there. There was I really wish Brock McBlockchain would go to NFT NYC or one of these types of places, because I was talking to everybody about the Feesh stuff. A lot of other people had downloaded some Feesh. They got a couple. But yeah, this one, if he was there, I feel like he definitely would have stood out. Anyway, more on the Earth 2 stuff. We did have an update from Shane a little while ago. I didn't go over it in a video, though, so I'll go over it right now. We'll go over the Shane Isaac stuff. Even if he doesn't do actual updates, every now and then he is in the comments. He is talking about people. So he did make a post, which doesn't really have too much to do with Earth 2, but they might have some type of celebration in there saying, hashtag lest we forget, thank you to the servicemen, servicewomen who made the ultimate sacrifice to ensure our freedom and in turn gave us the opportunity to preserve the freedom for future generations. They should never be forgotten. Anzac Day 2023. And again, that was for Shane a few days ago. But before then, he had posted saying, though we don't have Earth 2 for Earth 1 systems in place yet, we also did not want to let Earth 2 Day slip by without benefiting the active players. Basically what they were doing is they were updating stuff for us for Earth Day earlier this week. So I realized some expected civilians to go live on Earth 2 Day, but this was just speculation and never the case. At the end of March, I noted civilians would not be months away, and we're still on schedule to achieve that estimate, meaning we should get it this quarter. And it was only an estimate. There are always edge cases which delay things. Mom, I'm edging. Sorry, that's a weird reference. Forget I said that. Comment down below if you get that reference. That was hysterical. I was going to wait for players to find out when civilians hit Stage 2. No ETA for Stage 2 yet. But I guess as a little teaser, I will hint that civilian system is a little more advanced than the details were released about in the past. I didn't want players just mass producing civilians without thinking and strategizing a little first. So sustaining them will be a thing, and the sustenance system will directly be linked to them successfully achieving their core objectives. Additionally, XP will be a thing, so those who understand their rating systems the best will definitely have an initial advantage there. There's a lot of people in this game, like a lot of big people in the Earth 2 industry that are women. Speaking of women, I will have multi-best-selling author Linda West. She'll be on the podcast tomorrow. It is going to be 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So she'll be on tomorrow afternoon. I have been a little sick, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to make it, but I am very excited about that. But I was talking to not Predict, although I was talking to her the other day. She is very excited about rating. I was talking about my friend Michelle, and let's see where we're at. It says, "Hey Randy, I am exhausted, honey, from rating all week on Earth 2. How are you doing?" So yeah, friend Michelle's a real estate agent. She has a lot of stuff going on. She makes a lot of money, and she's spending her free time rating on Earth 2. Why? Because she knows that the more time you spend, the more familiar you get with the game, the more ether that you can get, the more essence that you can get, the more money you will get in the future. I do have estimates when ether does happen to go live, or I'm sorry, essence happens to go live. I think it will be in January of next year, and I do think we have at about $1. It'll come out at about $1. So for those of you that have hundreds of thousands, you're looking good. And again, the only way to really achieve that much essence was really to buy the land as soon as the game came out in 2020. And thankfully I still have a little bit, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. We do have a couple of things to go over for Veve. There's a couple of, what did I even go on the Twitter? Let's take a look. I forget what I had posted. Veve news of the day, addressing concerns. Okay, news of the day: low mints versus Oh, I just put low mints versus future giveaways. Low mints versus future low mints. Then you have giveaways and some Earth 2 news as well. Oh, I also have 163 million OMI. Everyone comment awesome down below for that. I will be trying to get about another million OMI per week for the rest of the quarter. So hopefully that means 170 million by the end of the quarter. Hopefully I can get over 180 by the end of Q3. And then we're looking at, like I said, 200 million is the goal by next year. If I can get that, great. If I can get it by the end of this year, that's great. But I don't know if that's really going to happen. We'll see. Yeah, we got some stuff going on that I might do. Hey, Megan Slider, he says, your room is boring. You should add some decorations. I have a thing. Well, one, I have Dashi. And then I also have this thing back there, but it's so big. And I don't have a frame for it, and apparently framing can cost a lot. Apparently a buddy of mine can build a frame, but that's a really expensive piece of art. Link down below to Steve Kahn, to the Predator Project. He's a professional photographer, wildlife photographer, gets the most amazing things, but had never taken photos of predators doing predator things. So in this one, you can see I might be able to even show you the picture. Again, link down below to the NFTs. His art does sell for in the 5 figures, always tens of thousands. So this one I think is about 15,000. And let me go and find him real quick, and I'll find the photo. His name is Steve Cannon, and he's got this one happens to be, and this is the first in a series that he's doing, but this one happens to be if you zoom in on it, and again, it's really high quality, it's like a brown wolf in Yellowstone surrounded by a murder of crows, chewing on a little pork chop there. But what you don't see here, but you're going to see in the actual photo, is I don't even know what that is. It's not a wolf. It's like a coyote. It's a coyote over there. It's going bark. And he's just in the background. So if you go and zoom out and look at the whole picture, you can kind of see him in the background, but it is hard. So yeah, that's link down below the NFTs. If you buy the NFT, again, $15,000, you go and you get the free photo, you get the free piece of art. If you buy the free piece of art, you do get the NFT for free. So one way or the other, you go and get that. And as a gift, there is no, we don't get anything for reselling. So if you buy it for 15K, and again, I think there's one of 3 or one of 5 of them. So they're very, very scarce. Normally he has like 15, 20 of them. These are very, very scarce because it's his first NFT project. If you happen to go and sell it for like 10, resell it for 100K, whatever, we don't get any of that, as a lot of other selling fees are for NFTs. Anywho, moving on here. Where was it? I got the magic stick. All right, so after yesterday, and we had the specification for the Soul Stone, we will get a video on Monday that Alex and the Dope Ryan are doing, talking about the Soul Stone, talking about how you can craft and burn. That is going to start May 6th. And what happens a day or so before May 6th? It is May 5th. Yes, that is technically Revenge of the 5th. We'll get to Star Wars in a second, but it is Guardians of the Galaxy. That movie has gotten very good reviews. And what does it have to do with Veve? We are going to be getting those Marvel Mighties. Those Marvel Mighties are so small. They're so adorable. I really, really love it. And again, who's in Guardian of the Galaxy? Well, a lot of people, but specifically I'm going to talk about Gamora, because Gamora, it's spoilers for Endgame if you haven't seen it. Come back in like 30 seconds. You have to, in order to get the Soul Stone, it's a soul for a soul. So you have to go to Vormir, where Red Skull is, and then you have to go and sacrifice the person that you love the most, or sacrifice something that you love. In Thanos' case, he happened to love his daughter Gamora, sacrifice Gamora, Gamora dead. Oh, well, then how is she in this movie? Well, they did a weird thing going back in time, 2014 Gamora. She's here now. So yeah, that's how they're doing it. And if we go and we have a Gamora who's in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and we have her as a Marvel Mighty, maybe you can craft her in order to get a Soul Stone. I think that'd be really cool. Again, they might be doing something different where they say, oh, you can sacrifice some comics, you can sacrifice any collectibles, whatever it is. But I do think it would have to be still within the Marvel realm. I don't think you could sacrifice some DC collectibles in order to get that Soul Stone or that Gauntlet. I think it would have to be Marvel collectibles, and I think it would be the Marvel Mighties. Again, just throwing that out there. Anyway, we do have Star Wars Day as well. You are going to have Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. Oh, God, if they have, I'm going to spend so much freaking money on him. We're not sure what the other two are. It is probably going to be other two, because the last time we had, all of the times we have Star Wars drops, whether it be vehicles, whether it be droids, whether it be this, it's, okay, Darth Vader, there's 3 different poses of Darth Vader. Boba Fett, 3 different poses of Boba Fett. Even when we had Obi-Wan coming in with, I even forget the other 2 that were in the Obi-Wan series in there. One of them was, oh no, I remember. One of them was the Manitoban, which is not her name. That's actually the species of character that they are. That's a species in the galactic somewhere. Manitoban, and then the other one was the little robot thing that tiny Leia had from the past. And yeah, if you're gonna have 3, I'm gonna say Admiral Akbar, I'm gonna say Luke Skywalker, and then I'm hoping for a Lando. I think Lando would be really cool. I think Chewie would be great too, but I really would like to get Chewie with Han Solo. I don't think I would like to have them without it. Maybe they surprise them, they do 4. Could you imagine a Luke Skywalker, a Han Solo, a Chewie, and then Admiral Akbar as well? Again, we don't have Leia. I really do want to get some people that can use their lightsabers. Ahsoka Tano, Kylo Ren, Mace Windu, Yoda or Grogu, and then Luke or Anakin. I know we already have Vader, but I really wish we would get a younger Anakin as well, back when he was on the light side. I think that'd be pretty dope. And then some more screenshots for the rest of the news. Ooh, I have a... Oh! There was an auction for an Aether, and I didn't win the Aether. But there was an auction for something else today, and I'll get to that. I'll get to the news first. I'll go to the news first before we do anything. Oh, also, it come out that October 10th of 2025, we are going to have Avatar: The Last Airbender. There was some, it looks very similar to the fan art that we've seen in the past. The fan art that we've seen in the past always has Aang with a beard, because in the flashbacks in Legend of Korra, you do see Aang with a beard. But that is more towards the end of his life. That is more towards the end of the, kind of his timeline. He's in his 40s at that point. Where is the thing that I sent my friendo? Yeah, so here it is. Here's the first look at the artwork, and most of the artwork. Where the fudge did? I don't know why my Facebook went into a frenzy as soon as I turned it to the left. Okay, here we go. So if we zoom in on it, you see Aang without the beard. And then you also see a badass Sokka down below, and then you see Toph right next to him. I was really hoping that they would hook. I do kind of ship them a lot, even though he's, kind of with Suki. Anyway, then you do have Katara with her hair loopies. You have Lord Zuko with a badass ponytail. So in this, it doesn't look like they're old. It doesn't look like they're older in like their 30s or 40s when they're in Republic City, when they have those flashbacks from Legend of Korra. It does look like they're in their mid-20s. Maybe even late 20s. Aang is obviously much, much older than that, because he's 100 years old, because, he was in the ice for so long. He actually looks the youngest out of all of them, despite the aging supposedly catching up with him. Doesn't look like he's doing that bad at all. But I would say mid-20s for this. If they do it in the mid-20s for this, they could actually do the show for like 15 years, unless they do some sort of time skip or whatever. Because again, you do see him in the 40s, so you know they all survive at least until their 40s. Sokka obviously had passed away. Same thing with Aang. By the time the Legend of Korra thing had come out, so I'm very, very excited with this. They're going to come back and I really want them to do uh, stuff on Veve. And he's like, well, Chavez, didn't Recur have Nickelodeon? When was the last time Recur did a drop? Like, what? Like, really? When was the last time Recur did anything? I'm very excited for the future where all of these companies, and again, you had David and Dan just come back from North Asia. What type of licenses did they get? They did tease a couple of them when they did the community update a couple days ago, but they didn't go super hardcore into it. I really wish they would have. I'm so heckin' curious. On top of that, we have some Sprint stuff. Oh, there's Haunted Military TikTok. I made a TikTok the other day. Anyway, oh god, I love that one. Golden Moment. So for those of you that missed one of the last updates, you can change the background and you have the bases and pedestals. Somebody happened to do that on the. Someone happened to do that on the partner statue. I think it looks pretty cool. It says that you could be able to have the pedestal, have the base, or not. So I thought that was really dope. Buddy of mine's doing some crazy stuff to try to get up to 100 million Omi. I already went over stuff I'll have. So, Veve and Comic-Con. Veve will be at San Diego and New York Comic-Con. The San Diego one is the more harder stuff to get. I don't even know if the tickets had gone on sale for that, whatever. I do have details for the ticket sales for New York Comic-Con. If you were VIP last year, the pre-sale for you goes on 31 May at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're a Pop vs. Superfan presale, that goes on 2 June. That's Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have fan verification, that presale goes on 11 June. You're able to get tickets then for New York Comic Con. And the general online sale will be on the summer solstice, 21 June. That is a Wednesday. And you will be able to go on at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll be able to go to get tickets. If not, it is easier to get tickets for New York Comic Con than San Diego. New York and San Diego are always 1 and 2 every year. I think San Diego's been the bigger one, despite New York being heckin' awesome. New York has this thing where they make you wear masks, or I think San Diego might have had that as well. What the fudge? I don't know what the fudge they're doing. That really, in my opinion, takes away from the experience. But if you just carry around like a drink and you you can definitely go and kind of get away with it. Like, oh, I'm drinking. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Nope, can't go over that. Sounded old. Okay, so we had BitBoy go on. BitBoy has about 1.4 million subscribers. When I posted this, there's a lot of people that really don't like BitBoy. They're like, oh, he's a known scammer. He's this, he's that. And whatever he is, whether that be true or not, that be true. Sorry, anytime I say something that's from a movie, I always got to reference that movie. That be true. Oh, God, who is that? Was it Barbosa? I think it was Barbosa. I don't know what Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Anyway, whether that be true or not, he still does have 1.4 million subscribers. So if you go over to his YouTube, hey, where am I? If you go over to his YouTube, you could actually tell, you could look at the poll, you could look at the results of the poll, and I'll show you what it is real quick. Yeah, 1.45 million subscribers on YouTube. So I was posting the poll that he had done, not to like bring attention to him, but just because he had mentioned Omi on there, and the more people that know about Omi, the better. So he says, it's Portfolio Friday. Which of these have you added or are looking to add to your portfolio lately? Comment below why you made the choice or what should have made this list. And he lists Avinoch. I don't know what Avinoch is. He lists BNX or Binary X. He lists SXP for solar and Floki for Floki. But he also lists Omi or Akomi that is winning with 57% of the vote. And it's not like a Twitter poll where you only have maybe like 1,000 or something. There's 2,400 votes on this. And I suspect it might get higher as the day goes on. It's only been out for around 9 hours. You do have the top comment as me saying Omi is extraordinarily undervalued. The app it's attached to, Veve, has grossed over 400 million in the last 2.5 years. It's not on big exchanges yet, so the volume is extremely low. Once exchanges come and the volume is more appropriate, the price will increase at a commensurate rate. Plus, it having added utility on the app and in their metaverse, this seems like an easy 100x in 2 years. Again, top comment. Go like it. Yes, I like my own comment. Don't at me. There was a lot of other really cool comments on here as well, and more than half of them were Omi related. So I was very excited about that. While we're on YouTube, I want to go over to my channel, and I'm going to go over to my live videos, and I'm going to go and have everyone smash that like button. That is a free way to help support the channel. So if y'all could do that, that'd be heckin' great. I would be heckin' grateful. And then we have, what other news we have to go over? Uber, mac and cheese. So, all right, some low mints. We'll get into the low mints here. I happen to buy, people really like repeating numbers. 777, 222, 3, but so what I've noticed is that for whatever sub 100, whatever the formula is, let's say a sub 100 is normally, based on this floor price, this sub 100 should be, let's say, $100. But if it's a number 88, 77, 66, etc., it will get an added little bit of a premium. Not a ton. Instead of maybe, let's say, 100, it'd be like 110, 120, give or take. Obviously, when you have those special numbers like 69 or any sub 50s, those do get really an additional premium on top of that. But what I really wanted to talk about, so I got the number 44, Hope Van Dyne or the Wasp for $69. I'm going to comment nice down below for the 69. It's $69.99, but it still counts. So I got that, and then not only did I get that, I won an auction for a Scott Lang Ant-Man, number 74 for $70. And this brought upon an argument, which I really want to go over. One of the arguments was, hey, you've had, let's just say Marvel, not just take out Veve for a second, even though they might have something to do with this, especially with the logo, and I'll get over that in a second as well. You have Marvel Unlimited, which for all of the great things that they're going to do for Veve, and all the great stuff they've already done for Veve, such as doing giveaways, whatever, and such as going and having future comic collectors come to Veve because of Marvel Unlimited, they have done what some consider to be a little unfair, which I don't think it's unfair at all. The scenario is whoever paid a premium for the number 41 Red Skull had paid that premium, and because they got the lowest publicly available mint. And then, due to a giveaway that Marvel Unlimited had, the number 40 and number 39 were given away in one of those prize dealings. And what happens? During that, does it take away from the number 41? With the people that are here right now, that know what's going on, that have grown up with and evolved with this company for the number 41, as the publicly lowest available mint for most of them. Obviously with that first set, with like some of the first season, you have some things like Adventure Time, maybe some Powerpuff Girls, and some, the Todd and Riso and all that. You can get some that are sub 41. Those are special cases. I think that everyone here, the number 41 will still probably be the most important. Like, again, I love Cassie Lang. Not Mr. MC1, Mr. 41.eth. That has over 60 41s in the entire app and is growing all the time. He has the number 41 Cassie Lang. He paid a couple $100 for it. I'm very jealous of him. I would really like to buy it from him. I don't think he'll sell. He doesn't need to sell. He's very successful, makes a lot of money. Why I go and say that if, let's say, I somehow win an auction or I do whatever, I do something special and I get a number 40 Cassie Lang, I still don't think that would be as good as a number 41, just because we all associate that as being like the best. Because somebody gets a one-off, let's say I get a number 29 Cassie Lang or 37, whatever it is. I still think it's a great mint, and it's probably equal to a sub 50, so a very, very high premium, and possibly even higher. Everyone really loves number 41. Maybe number 37 or 27, very few people like those numbers. But again, it doesn't matter. If you have a couple of those people that like it, they're going to spend money on it. But I still think the majority will think the number 41 is still the best. However, there are, 30-ish thousand active wallets every month? You could have Disney, you could have somebody have a mass marketing of Veve and Omi, which we will get in a couple of weeks. We're going to start to market better in a couple of weeks. You could have that, and then suddenly we go from 30,000 active wallets a month to 120,000 active wallets a month. And now there's only 25% of us that really know and understand the significance of the number 41. And other people would be like, why would I want a number 41 when I could get a number 38 or 37? So you could see that shift there. You could see that shift where the number 41 is only special to those of us that knew what was, not those who have come in and, they're seeing this app for the first time and, they don't really understand the number 41. In the future, when we have millions of users and sub 41s are commonplace, the number 41 might only carry significance to the OGs, and there aren't a ton of us. So again, that could flip, that could happen. What happens, I don't know. And for the Veve logo, kind of going against my own investment, but for the Veve logo, or let's say for Disney, anything Marvel, Star Wars, whatever, the first 40 that are kept, they don't go to Veve. Most, if not all of them, go towards the company. I think Veve keeps like the number 1 and 2 and whatever, but most of the rest of the sub 41s go toward the parent company, which is not Veve. Veve being the parent company of the Veve logo, they obviously keep the first 40, and they're probably going to use those for giveaway. So my number 41 will probably only be the best for so long. They will start to give away 40, 39, 38, et cetera, et cetera. Now, could they possibly go and give that to some of their licensors? Sure, it's very possible as well. It's a very, very exclusive club, that Veve golden logo, so they might do that. I don't know. What else did I have in the title of this thing? Oh, their giveaway. Oh, so let me go to the internet real quick. Oh, wow, I have so many freaking... Oh, God, I'm sorry. All right, so the Patrick Hughes, we have the next series coming out, but you can win a signed physical Patrick Hughes artwork. Now, it's an incredible opportunity to win a signed and numbered physical robotic 3D retrospective artwork by Patrick Hughes, random edition. I think there's only 30 of them. So it's a random edition, 1 through 30, and it's a 51 by 53, and then a 3 by 16. Using the AR function in the Veve app, take a photo or video that showcases a Patrick Hughes Series 2 digital collectible from your collection and post it on Twitter or your Instagram feed, not story, your feed, using the hashtag HughesXVeve. We'll select the most interesting and creative entry to win a prize. How is this different from other giveaways? What is this worth? Generally, these things are considered to be worth thousands of dollars, like between 5 and 10,000. This is a lot that you could win. This is a very expensive portrait that you could win. It will be signed, again, 1 of 30, extremely scarce. What do you do with that? I mean, hang it up, you could sell it, buy some Omi, buy some more stuff, do whatever you want with it. But here's a chance for you to win. And after you win it, it's yours to do, obviously, whatever you want with. So I thought that was really cool that they're doing that. They're basically just giving away thousands of dollars. Thought it was dope. All right, so comics and crypto posts. Why does first appearance matter? And it's only significant. It's not only significant in sports cards and comic books, but now we're seeing the concept dip into other collectible markets like cassettes, VHS, video games, and ticket events. Here are some of the biggest sales for first appearance event tickets over the past 2 years. $17,400 for a 1954 Hank Aaron MLB debut ticket. $121,334 for a 1955 Roberto Clemente MLB debut ticket. $141,395 for a 1951 Mickey Mantle MLB debut ticket. $468,000 for a 1984 Michael Jordan NBA debut ticket. And $480,000 for a 1947 Jackie Robinson MLB debut ticket. We believe this trend will continue to grow in the collectibles market, both physical and digital. First appearance matters. I cannot say enough about that. Something that I don't know a ton about, but something that Arya Realty, who's obviously also an Earth 2 expert, Earth 2 king, Earth 2 alpha male, will be coming on the podcast. That should be 13 May. He'll be coming to talk about Earth 2 and then a new project he's found called Finblocks. It's a gamified crypto super app that offers various products and services to help grow the digital assets through trading and earning rewards in simple and fun ways. Finblocks users can leverage their crypto assets to participate in various programs with financial, entertainment, and lifestyle products in the ecosystem. So it does sound really cool. He's found a new project that he's going pretty heavy into, or he's about to go pretty heavy into. So Earth 2, that, etc. I'm going to look into that as well. It does sound pretty dope. I'm easily in the top. Well, I was in the top 500 wallets last week. When it comes out tomorrow, I should be in the top 450. So that's the goal, to go a little bit higher each week. So I'll should be in the top 450 as of tomorrow, and then I should be hopefully in the top 400 the week after. I might not. I might have to skip a week because, again, if we have those Marvel Mighties, I'm blowing all my money on that. So I might have to put the top 400 on the back burner. We'll see. The goal eventually would be to get into like the top 250 wallets. Again, it does get harder and harder as thing goes on, especially because there are 0 comics that are below $2 now. 2 weeks ago, it was easy. $1.68, $1.78. Now, if you see for $1.99, you gotta buy them all. I think NFT Hustle has been posting a bunch for $1.99, so I've been buying a bunch of those. I think I do have 1160. Might be close to that. Let's check. Yep, about that. Anyway, I've been going on for 30 minutes, so let's get over to the comments here and let's get that bread. Wes says, let's get this bread! I love this game! I actually had 2 pieces of bread and a protein shake before I got on. I am waiting to drink. All right. I shouldn't drink, right? I should not. I should just be healthy and do the bike tomorrow. I came up from the gym today. I should. But I also want to. We should have like a poll. We have a poll? Well, maybe we'll do a poll. Have you ever see those statuses that say like 1 like and I'll get high tonight, and then they like their own status, and it's like, say no more, fam. I was about to say that, be like, oh, 1 super chat and I'll drink, and I was about to super chat myself, but that I thought that would be a little too. Oh, hold on, 32. Oh, same here. My boy's 32. Turned 32 in December. I am going to be 33 this year. Oh, I don't like this. I do not like aging. I like aging, but I don't at the same time as well. Bill Garner says, let's go. Let's go. Only Player One says, when? I need it. When what? When what? What was the title of this? Let's go to the Twitter. Check out my answer here. Oh yeah. So Veve is giving that artwork worth thousands. Min 41 versus sub 41. Yep. All that jazz. So I did answer that. Cool. Omi Child, what's going on, fam? Pixel Trader says, happy Friday, fam. Why, hello, hello, Pixel Trader. Happy Friday to you, too. Jinferno says, howdy. Howdy. I hope you're doing well. My man. Janoy Evans says, what's up, Randy? I haven't received my MCP yet, but I've been stacking. How's 143 sets looking? It's looking great. You should be getting a ton of MCP points for that. How many do you have in general? Veve just posted saying, in tribute to the classic Spider-Man in the Rain image from Romita, Scotty Young brings his epic Marvel artwork to Veve. There's a bunch of Scotty Young stuff. I love him. He draws all the cutesy stuff, the little chibi stuff. It says, this 1-to-1 variant for Spider-Man, number 1 is available via silent auction starting Monday, 1 May at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on the Veve app. Hashtag collectors at heart. Oh yeah, this looks so cool. I freaking love it. I do love his stuff. I'm not gonna lie, the art, I would love looking at that. Let's take a look at some comics real quick, and then I'll get back to comments. Look at the Fallen Sun, the death of Captain America. Look at Wolverine in that. Look at just the awesomeness. Like, that's so badass, and it looks so cool. But then if you take a look at Fallen Sun, the death of Captain America, this cover with, I don't even know who these chicks are, and it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to look at the women, but then you have like Spider-Man. I don't know. The reason why I bring that up is because if we're talking about artworks. I love Scotty Young's artwork. That stuff is amazing. But sometimes you have like a beautiful Gwen Stacy. You have like these beautiful like Jean Greys. You have these beautiful artworks that's like, I don't know, what do you want to look at all the time? And it's like, I don't know, sometimes you want to look at a pretty girl. Sometimes you like to look at awesome Spider-Man. I don't know. It depends on the mood you're in. Anyway, yeah, 143 sets. Janoy Evans, how many collectibles do you have in general? Because that would give me a better idea of how many sets you have. And also, be advised that I have a couple of people that I know that have a lot more collectibles than me. They don't have MCP yet. They did explain in the community update that even I think a buddy of mine that's in the top 30 does not have MCP yet. And they said the reason why they did that is that they wanted to have a bunch of people that were in the top 50, top 100 wallets, then a bunch of people in the top 500, then a bunch. They wanted to have it at each different level to go and test how the points are calculated, how they do well in the app in the background, and they want to have it at every different level. So just because you have a ton of points doesn't mean that you're there yet. That you're going to get MCP first, and also on top of that, it's going to take a while to calculate. If you go and you get MCP and you're like, I should have more points than this, you will be getting that. Will correct in the background. Again, this is just beta that we're in, but everyone will get it by the end of this quarter. Promise. Bill Gardner says, Earth 2 peeps. Let's go. Let's get it. Crazy Dan 420 says, I picked up a partner statue off the floor yesterday to finally complete the Golden Moment set. Big thanks to the army of fudders and undercutters who helped make this happen. Hashtag here to stay. My heckin' man. My bae. Congrats to you on that. Yeah. As much as I don't like the fudders because they're just lying to people, dude, without fudders, we would not be down here. Like the market would not be down here, Omi would not be down here, and I wouldn't have as much as I have. So yeah, you sometimes get a little hot at people for going and spreading misinformation and just doing nothing but trying to bring people down. But at the same time, I'm getting some good buy-in places. Again, I don't think I would have had 163 million Omi had it not been for some of these fudders. The goal will be 170 by the end of the quarter, so by the end of Q2. I don't think I can get 200 million by the end of the year. If it stays down here, I will. Yes, if it stays down here, 200 million does seem very feasible. Definitely 185 by the end of the year, but we'll see. I'll keep you posted. I'm going to be working as hard as I can. Living in a gangster's paradise. Sorry. Ryan Sargent says, congrats, Randy. Oh, why, thank you. It was a great purchase. It was a great time. Megan Sidery says, your room is boring. You should add some decoration. I will. My friend Megan has these amazing TikTok videos. I'll link it down. I'll link it down below at the end of this. It's really dope. Vojtek Frank says, missing your refrigerator. I miss my refrigerator as well. That was a great fridge. A lot of money on that fridge. Sandbox says, is Veve down? Unable to get in for a few hours. It was down yesterday for me where it allowed me out. Meow. I had put in the email, I put in the password, and it didn't work. So what I did, Sandbox, and what you might be able to do, is I logged in on the web app. It worked, and then I logged in on the Veve app from the Play Store, and then that worked. So try that. Try logging out, Xing out of everything, and then going to the web app, log in on there. I had to go log in there just to get gems anyway. I feel like not everyone knows this, even though it was announced like over a year ago. If you buy gems on the Veve app, like the actual Play Store app or the iOS app, 100 gems might cost you $109. It does for me. Even if it doesn't cost you anything, and 100 gems is $100, Veve does not get all of that money. 30% of that does have to go to Apple. It does have to go to Google. If you buy from the web app, the web version, Veve doesn't have to pay anything. Apple and Google get diddly squat. Heck 'em. Again, even if it's not about Veve, it's about yourself. 100 gems cost me $109 if I buy it on the phone version app. If I go to the web version app, 100 gems cost me $100, and it's just cheaper that way. So yeah, it's good. Moving on. Oh, they also mentioned crypto payout yesterday on the community update. The payout will come eventually. They are worried about money laundering. They are worried about just regulatory issues. So that will come at some point, but it just might take a while. Okay. Bill Gardner says, we need a poster of your old fridge in the back and singing back. I do like, yeah, I should. Bill Gardner says, so pumped about this gauntlet. Dude, this gauntlet's going to be dope. So I'm not going to get the gauntlet. I have been selling some of the stones just so I could get, more gems, just so I can go and get some sub 100 stuff, and then so I can go and I can get some more comics as well. Again, you don't have to spend like $10,000 to get to where I am. If you know how on the what do you call it? If you go to your collectibles, you see your vault value. If you go to your comics, same thing. Let's take a look here real quick. I have 346 comics, right? Okay, well, if I click on that and you go to the comics, the vault value for my comics are less than $800. Why? Because I only buy these super cheap comics. So whether you have 346 comics and your vault value is worth $8,000, or you have 346 comics and your value is only worth $800, it's still getting the top 100, the top 500. But that's just me though. This place the bronze. I'm not sure. Possibly? Question mark. Call expected, but yep, price out. All right, cool. Now moving on. Walrus King says, "Yo, Randy, yo, Walrus King, what up, fam? What up, what up, what up, girl?" Yeah, maybe one day I'll get a poster of my old fridge. We'll see. Jimbo Lee Lingo says, "Hello, Master Randy." Why, hello, Master Jimbo Lee Lingo. I hope you're doing well, my bae. Jeremy Housen says the other Obi-Wan collectible was Reva. Oh, it was Reva. Where did the droid? Oh, the droid was in. I guess that makes sense. It was in the droid collection. With R2 and C-3PO. Yeah, the Reva. I didn't like Reva. I did not like that character at all. I didn't like the Obi-Wan series in general. I love the flashbacks with him and Anakin. I love the fight with him and Vader. It's just I don't know. It's like you took like one of my favorite characters. You took Obi-Wan. You basically stripped him of all his powers, and he's just an old man, and he just gets the crap beat out of him. And it's just like, I don't like seeing my hero like this. And then obviously it's kind of like a video game. Kind of like if anyone's ever played those Metroid video games, you start off and you don't really have a suit, and you have like one little attachment. And then as the game goes on, you go and you get more pieces of the suit, and you get more badass as the game goes on. Same thing kind of here. Obi-Wan doesn't really have his powers. And then he goes and as he starts working those force muscles again, he starts getting his powers. And then by the end, he's almost at where he was. He's still pretty good. Bill Gardner says, "I bid $1,800 on Spidey Gwen." Oh, that's so cool, dude. That Spidey Gwen was such a good looking. That was such a good looking one. That's such a good looking poster. When Omi goes to the moon, I'm gonna be buying all those posters. Some of those are so good looking. I freaking love those. Anyway, moving on. Bill Gardner says Greg Land is epic. Greg Land? E2 Land? Yeah. Pika Pika says Pika. Oh, dude. So there have been theories about David and Dan. Again, when you're in Asia, did they get the Pokemon license? I don't know. Even if they did get the license, which I don't think they did yet, the announcement probably wouldn't be for months from now, and we probably wouldn't get Pokemon until next year. That'd be great if they did it for Pokemon Day, but again, even if they came to an agreement now, or if they did when they were in Asia, I don't think they would announce it for quite a while. Again, they had Marvel months before they announced it. They had Disney like a year before they announced it. What happens? What happened? Well, actually, no. I think they only had Disney, like, they were in talks with Disney for quite a while, but I don't think they got Disney until May of 2021. And then they actually, obviously, released it in November. Announced it in October, I think. So, yeah, good times. Brendan Barr says, "Can you use the Eye of Agamotto rare instead of the secret rare for crap?" I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't. I don't know which ones you may or may not be able to use. Bill Gardner says, "I'm hoping for Iron Man Gauntlet 2. Oh, that'd be dope. The Stark Gauntlet. That was such a good one. That was such a great one, in my opinion. Prince Toby says, "Yo, what's good, Randy? A few days ago, I found Walgreens exclusive Funko Pops in Walgreens and bought one. Said Funko Pop was the Marvel version of Hercules, who now sits by my Alligator Loki Funko Pop. And my Throg versus Alligator Loki statue." Oh, that's amazing. That's so cool. So glad you told me that. Yeah, those are great. Funkos in general are really cool. Dude, I dated this one girl that had the whole wall with Funkos, and it wasn't just one layer of Funkos. It was 3 layers of Funkos deep. I was like, you literally shortened the square footage in your room for the Funkos. But she knew where everyone was. I think she might have had a touch of the tism, because like, oh, do you have this one? Yeah, it's over here. And it's like, and there was over 1,000. There was hundreds. maybe not 1,000, but there was hundreds of them, and she knew where each one was. I was like, oh my god, I love you. I didn't say that, but she. Oh, sorry, oof, she was. I'm getting all hot and bothered. Sorry. Anyway, when you say the Marvel version of Hercules, so not like the Disney, like I can go the distance, like the big giant Hercules, like dude, I really wish they would have. If they would do like a Civil War like Disney Plus series, like where it's just like a full series, a full 8 hours or 10 hours, an hour per episode, that could be done in such an amazing way. For those that don't know, Hercules, who is a Marvel character, can be freaking huge, like Ant-Man type huge. And when he happened to die in the huge form that he was in, Tony Stark had to buy, I think, like 28 grave plots in order for him to be buried because that's how big he was. So yeah, that was large. It was large and in charge. Dude, Jerry and Marge Go Large over on Paramount is just such a good movie. Anyway, Bryan Cranston's in there. Dude, Bryan Cranston just kills anything he's in. I know people didn't like the Power Rangers movie from years back, or even the new Power Rangers movie that just came out, Forever and Always, or Always and Forever. Once, whatever it was called, once and always. Um, I don't know. I love Bryan Cranston. Anything that he's in, I'm a fanboy. Bill Gardner says, I picked up that Ghost Spider 81 for. Wow, oh my God. There was a Ghost Spidey 81 for 69 gems? Are you hecking kidding me? Ugh. I would have got it. I love that one. I love that one so heckin' much. I have a couple of Ghost Spideys. I don't think any of them are sub 100, though. Oh, that's a Deadpool one. All right, hold on. But go and take a look at the Ghost Spideys. I have 6 of them, but I don't think any of them are sub 100. They're not. But it's such a good one though. So she should be about between 70 and yeah. There's the only one that's out there is number 44, but it's listed at 4.4 million. So obviously that's not going to happen. Oh man, that's such a good one. That is such a popular character, and I feel like nobody knows about it yet. I feel like, oh yeah, she's in the Into the Spider-Verse, right? Listen, yes, she's in the Into the Spider-Verse ones, but she's also part of Spidey and His Amazing Friends, or Spidey and I gotta figure out which one that is. I know it's on Disney Plus, so let me go. I think I have Disney Plus on my phone. Let's check. Yes, my roommate is still sick. Literally 5 months later, 6 months later. I have to show it to you. Is it Spidey or Spider-Man? Oh yeah, it's called Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Who are the 3 main characters? Yeah, there's Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Spidey Gwen, right there. Look at her. And why is that important? If you go to the YouTube channel, millions, tens of millions of views. And it's actually, from what I understand, a pretty decent show. A buddy of mine has kids, and our other friend watches the kid every now and then, and they watch that show together. So you have this whole new generation that's absolutely in love with this woman, in love, and like I get it, she's cute, and then the Into the Spider-Verse stuff on top of that, and again, when you have Secret Wars, when you have even in Secret Invasion, they might have stuff because in Secret Invasion, again, I'm glad that they're doing it as a series and not a movie because there's a lot to go over. There's a lot of things that happen in there. It comes out that well, in the comics is different than what they might do in the series because in the comics, the person that is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Elaine from Seinfeld, person that she plays in the I think she's like director of the CIA at this point. Her and Nick Fury, they get it on. They get it on, and he shoots her right in the head. It is dark. It is dark AF. I don't know if they're going to do that on Disney Plus, but yeah, why? It's like why? What did he do? He just wham bam, thank you, ma'am, then just shoot her. What's going on? No, she's a Skrull, and it turns out that there's a lot of Skrulls, and that's what the Secret Invasion is. What they do is they take. I guess they tried it where at one point they tried. Oh yeah, I'm Tony Stark, but it wasn't Tony Stark's mannerisms. It wasn't Tony Stark's like like his body language or anything. They were like, this ain't Tony Stark. So what they started to do is they started to take these superheroes, kidnap them, take them on Skrulix, I think is the name of their was the name of their home planet. and then they forced them to stay there and live there. And then the scroll said, "Okay, I'm going to copy you until I can copy like your mind or whatever." So this way, when they go into to Earth, nobody knows any better. Nobody's like none the wiser. I forget where I was going with this. I don't know what was. I don't know. It happened to be with Ghost Spidey and 69 gems. Never come a nice down below with the 69. I don't know what we were talking about beforehand. I'm getting old. Anyway, Coors Amy says, "What's good, fam? What's up, Coors Amy? Hope you're doing well." And Orange Bag Lady says, "Good evening, brother. What up, fam?" Orange Bag Lady, how far along are you now? I feel like that Eminem song. I hear your girlfriend's pregnant now. How far along is she? You are gonna make the best mom, and I just so happy for you. Can't wait. Yeah, comment down below. Joy Evans says, "Damn, Randy, you quoting Thanos, huh? Was I quoting Thanos? When did I quote Thanos? He's got a lot of quotable things. Run from it. Oh God, what was that quote? Destiny still arrives." I actually quoted Thanos in my in 2020 when I was still in the IRR called the Individual Ready Reserve, where if the military wanted to, they could have said, "Hey, suit up. You're going back in." They could have done that, I think, until December 19th of 2020 or 18th of 2020, whatever it was. Because again, you do 4 years active and then you do 4 years inactive. Now, the 4 years inactive, you could serve as reserves if you wanted to. I didn't have time for that, so I didn't. But if you are still the inactive ready reserve, you are still under contract. And if they go and say, "Chavez, suit up, going back in," they very well could have. But what they did was they asked for volunteers first, and they messaged me. They shot me an email and like, "Okay, Senior Airman Chavez, we need some help with this COVID stuff with the Rona, and we're calling back all volunteers. Do you want to come back?" So I answered with a meme, and it was a Thanos meme. It says, "You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me." And it was the most. I was so serious with it. It was so. Anyway, needless to say, they stopped emailing me after that. And I think that was my most beautiful, petty response that I ever had. But yeah, Thanos has some decent ideas. Maybe the execution was pretty horrible, but the ideas were there. Prince Toby says, "When are we gonna get Veve Smasher Pass Part 2? I laughed my butt off watching that masterpiece of a video. I barely even remember. Oh, are we talking about like the NFTs, Smasher Pass? Oh God, I don't know. I might have to. I can't just do that for free. I gotta be doing stuff. I gotta be making monies for that." Bill Gardner says, "That's something hardly anyone is talking about. A lot of these artworks are selling for big money every week, consistently." That's a good point. Very good point. A buddy of mine's got the Gary Baseman one that he did. It's one of one, absolutely beautiful. He's still owed a lunch actually with David Yu and Gary Baseman. I'm not sure when they're able to do that. Maybe for this decon coming up. I don't even know if they're doing decon this year. Maybe for San Diego Comic-Con. I'm not 100% sure yet, so I'll keep you posted. But I will be going to that. Yes. We got David saying, "Do you think we could possibly go bankrupt?" Not a chance. Not a chance. I will bet all of my Omi and my left side of my body that no way does Veve go bankrupt. I don't want to say impossible because nothing's impossible, but I'll bet my life on it. Janoy Evans says, "I have 539 collectibles and 63 comics in my top 500. Unfortunately, you are not. Even though you have a lot more sets than I do. The top 500 wallets, I think you have to have like 1,100. Let me go and look at that real quick. I don't have all of the information because this information is about a week old. But if you take a look, last time you needed 1,072 comics, and then you would have been number 500 at 1,072. So of course I had to go and get a lot. So I was in the top 500 and I had 1,109. I had 1,109. This week I will be in the top 450 because I definitely have more than you could want, or more than you would need for that. But to be in the top 500 wallets, you do need probably around this time 1,100 or close to that. So again, you could just get that by getting $2 comics. That's what I did. All of my comics, I don't think any of them are above $5 except for one of my Hit Monkeys. And even in my collectibles, I have a couple secret rares. I have two logos. I am working on that third logo as well. I'll hopefully get that. Wow, Jordan Reeves be spamming me. Thank you, Jordan Reeves, for the spam. You the man, brother. I'm gonna go and like one of your things here. Like a comment saying, "Let's go, Omi." Woo, dude, I love that meme. Whereas like, oh, how was your first day of teaching? Well, my student said this, and it's like a picture of saying like, my daddy likes to sniff the table and say woo, and it's just like the cutest thing. It's so adorable. Anyway, Prince Toby says, I asked ChatGPT who Randy Chavez was, and apparently, according to ChatGPT, you're a 45-year-old Pokemon collector, has 54,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think ChatGPT is confusing you with someone else. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I think I look in my 40s. But yeah, totally big Pokemon collector, obviously. You don't get that without being a big Pokemon collector. 54,000 subscribers on YouTube. I would love that. I would love that. I would not add 13 years to my life to get that, but I'd love that at some point. Minted drop, give me that heart. Oh, I thank you for the heart. NFT hodler. Oh my god, my freaking hips. I'm gonna stretch real quick. Oh god. La da da da. Oh, my hip. Ah, my other hip. Da na 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 na. Da 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 da. Ooh, my booty. Okay, here we go. Empty Hall says Marvel signed with Veve well before Disney. Marvel bought Disney and Veve together. I believe so as well. Prince Toby says new Randy quote to add to the book: Spider-Man, Miles Morales. Look, Spider-Gwen. yeah, that's what it was. Bill Gardner says Herd Secret Invasion will be rated R. Oh, are they gonna do it? Are they gonna do that scene where pew 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 pew? Dude, I wonder if Bucky told his therapist about the time where he picked up Rocket Raccoon and he's just murking people going and then Rocket's going If you've ever seen the A-Team, not the old TV show, but the movie The A-Team with Liam Neeson, Bradley Cooper, they had Rampage Jackson as Mr. T, as like, oh god, it was epic. Anyway, in one of that, they're in like a tank falling from the sky, and then you see Bradley Cooper going, get some! And it's like, oh, I hear the Rocket Raccoon now. A lot of the times, I don't actually hear Bradley Cooper in Rocket the Raccoon, but I definitely heard him in the get some! I was like, oh, that's so dope. I love Bradley Cooper. Anyway, Goo Blob says, hey Randy, I know you're a high-end Pokemon card believer. What do you think about the top tier Yu-Gi-Oh cards? The good ones. Blue Eyes, White Dragon, Dark Magician, Exodia, Red Eyes Black Dragon, Dark Magician Girl, trophy cards. Much respect to Yu-Gi-Oh! Watched the show when I was younger. I was a decent battler with some other friends' cards, but I wasn't a... I have forgotten more about Pokemon than I'll ever know in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. If you're to ask me, hey, should I get some of these cards that maybe might be a little bit low pop and nobody really cares about, or should I get the high end stuff that people know about, like the Blue Eyes, like the Exodia, or the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trophy cards? I'll be like, okay, we'll get the trophy cards over these. But in general, I would say Pokemon, obviously, all the way. There's a lot more money in that. There's a lot more people in that. Yu-Gi-Oh!, to my knowledge, hasn't been a thing for years. I know I actually had the Yu-Gi-Oh! DuX, the dueler thing, on an app, and that was pretty fun. Up until the fact that people are somehow doing like 8 moves in one move, and it's like I didn't even get a chance to attack, and I'm dead. So yeah, it gets a little crazy. With Pokemon, you don't really have that. There's definitely a lot of strategy, a little bit of luck, but a lot of strategy involved with that. Yeah, I would say Pokemon is definitely the way to go. I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh! Has come out with any new content aside from maybe some games. Pokemon, obviously, new content all the time. Mm-hmm. Smarty Pants 187 says, "Was Gucci, Randy?" Yeah, was Gucci, Smarty Pants. I mean, what's good? Everything's good. We got an exciting couple of weeks coming ahead. I might actually not get a million Omi next week. It depends what comes out. I might have to shove a lot of money into this into the app because this is a new Marvel Mighty set. It'll be a Star Wars set. I mean, there's obviously going to be the Gauntlet stuff. You're going to be able to start burning. We haven't had Disney dropping a little bit. I mean, there could be so much that's going on. It's going to be a very good month for Veve. It's also the start of, like the movie season. And the start of the movie season, you're usually going to get some stuff with that as well for Veve. Jordan Riz says, "Go Randy, what's up?" Thank you so much, Jordan. Thank you for the spam over on the tweeters. Gotta love that. I'm just checking something real quick. Okay. Ooh, my back. Ooh, been going an hour here. Smarty Pants says, "Where's my MCP? Where my MCP? I want to see my millions of points." You probably have hundreds of thousands of points. You might have a million. I don't know. You definitely have more than double, probably triple. Yeah, you possibly have a million points, maybe more. I don't know. You've got a lot. Goo Goo Blobs, is there any benefit to being the top 500 in collectible holdings? Well, yes and no. Do you get points on the app? Do you get extra MCP? I mean, the more that you buy, the more MCP points you get in general. So kind of, but it's not like, oh, you're in the top 500. Do you get like an extra, 50 points a week for being in the top 500? No, you don't get that. Do you get any extra addings in the wait list? Not necessarily. I mean, if let's say I only had 1,000 collectibles and I'm not in the top 500, but then, a couple weeks later I have 1,100 collectibles and I'm in the top 500, yes, you do have more MCP points because you have more collectibles, not because you're in the top 500. It's just because you have more collectibles. And with that, obviously, comes more MCP points. And with that, you can use that for waitlist at some point as well, to get more entries in there. Why I do it and why a lot of people I think are obsessed with that now is, again, because people are making a big deal of it and you have the name, like your name's on there. There's not a lot of people. Like, well, what about the Veve logo? You could be in that, but nobody really knows who's in that. Like you can look at people's profiles and you can look at people's things and yeah, it's scarce and okay, cool. But it's like, if you don't have the Veve logo, it doesn't really matter. Everybody wants to be in that top 500. Why? Because it's cool. It just to have your name on there. Like, were you ever in a sport at school? If you were in a sport at school and you did really well, oh, hey, Randy Chavez made all county. Wow, Randy Chavez made state. It's like, it's cool to see your name up there. It's cool to see your name up in lights. It's cool to see your name be recognized somewhere. Why do people, put their names on buildings? Why do people put the Chavez Canto Project or the Chavez Harambe Entrepreneurial Scholarship or the Harambe Chavez Environmental Scholarship? I had those scholarships made for my old high school back when I was doing both businesses. Named myself after the business. I named my character Chavez in what's that book? How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie, very good book. Highly recommend reading that. You go and you see, oh hey, there's a lesson in there about people's names and the importance of names. Like, it's an honor to have someone have their kid be named after you. It's an honor to get your name on somebody else's body via tattoo. It's an honor to get a lot of these things. And even if you can't get those things, you could be in the top 500 and your name is up there. So it does help. I mean, for me, that's important. Maybe for other people, especially women, it might not be, because women give away their names all willy-nilly and they take somebody else's name. But again, it is mostly men men write their names in the snow. I feel like there's very few people looking at this. It's enough to where some people are excited about it, but I feel like not enough. And there's going to be more. It's going to be a lot more. Moving on. Bill Gardner says, interesting, because I was at 398 wallets with 1,100. So 348 collectibles, 852 comics. It's getting hard out here. Yeah. So you were in the top. You're still in the top 400 probably. Maybe it was like 2 weeks ago. Oh, nice. Happy belated birthday. Uber, I don't need you. I don't need that. Is this the J? Oh, okay. I missed. Oh. Already. Oh, God. No. All right, moving on. Yeah, it's hard out there for G. Hard out there for Gangster Bill. You'd be in. Yeah, so you have 1,100 collectibles? Oh, no, you have 348. No, that's 1,200. Bill Garner, you have 1,200 collectibles. 348, 852 is 1,200. So let's see where you are. 1200 is, yeah, B Gardner. You were 398. I don't know how much you have now. Did you buy any more collectibles throughout the week? Because if you did not, you're probably out of the top 400. You're probably like 401 or 402 now. And the reason I say that is just because the 402 6393. It reminds me of 6949. 6949 was a um, at Levittown Animal Hospital. We used to have these patients that would come in there, and if they were from a shelter and they didn't have names, it's like, oh, you're 6949. That was a big, massive that way. Oh, so beautiful. Oh my god, the puppy. I love dogs so much. I want a dog. Oh, I want dogs so bad. They're so freaking. Oh, I just want to love something. Anyway, um, number 6393, who was number 402, or I'm sorry, B1FB, who was number 403, had 1196 and actually had 1082 the week before. Yes, this person had bought 114 different things, so most likely they had bought a little bit more. Super chat coming in from Taco Break saying, which Star Wars Marvel Mighties are you going for next week? So the Star Wars and the Marvel Mighties are going to be different. The Star Wars is going to be Admiral Akbar, and the other two we're not 100% sure. I'm really hoping for Luke. If it is, it looks like if Admiral Admar's in it, I wouldn't expect anyone from recent Star Wars. Like I wouldn't expect anyone from from the sequels movies, like Kylo Ren or Rey. If you are going to get Luke, it would be younger Luke. It wouldn't be an older Luke that we see. It wouldn't be an old Han Solo or an old Leia. It would be one of the younger versions of them. I wouldn't expect Din Djarin. I wouldn't expect Din Grogu either. I would expect people from that. So it is possible if you do get Han, I would say get Chewie, but there's no Luke yet, and I'm really hoping we get Luke. But again, Admiral Akbar is really cool, so I don't know what other things we might get. We'll see. We shall see. Outside of that, the Marvel Mighties, you could possibly get. I don't want to say it could be like an Eternals type thing because there was like 10 in Eternals, but you got. Well, Groot won't be a first appearance because well, it might be because this is thick Groot. This is like Giga Chad Groot. The Groot that we have on the app is the baby Groot. Actually, two baby Groots. It was a holiday Groot and then the baby Groot that we had for the what do you call it? It wasn't a holiday thing. There was a holiday Groot that we had, but then we had a Groot special where there was 5 different shorts of Groot. Rocket Raccoons. There's a bunch of the Guardians that made cameo appearances in it. It was really cool. It was really cute. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But so you might get a first appearance just because this one happens to be, thick Giga Chad Groot. Even though it is the same Groot as the young Groot that we've seen, the teenage Groot that we saw in Infinity War and Endgame. But I would say you could probably gonna have Groot, even if he has thick Groot, the Giga Chad Groot. You're gonna have Gamora. You're gonna have Star-Lord. You're gonna have Drax. You're gonna have Mantis. You may or may not have Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock, or he might be the secret one that if you get all of the Marvel Mighties, he might be the secret airdrop. You also might get, oh god, I forget the villain's name of the movie. I forget his name. I think it's not here. The Edge of Tomorrow. I forget his name, but the villain of it, you might get him. Am I missing anyone? Oh, you might get what's her name? Karen Gilliard. Oh god, I have to search Guardians. Not Gamora. Gamora's sister. I don't know why I'm forgetting her name. I like her more than Gamora. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I don't know why I put in reviews. I didn't want reviews. I put in cast. Nebula. Nebula is the name. Okay. So I would say those guys. So Groot, Gamora, Adam Warlock, Peter Quill, or Star-Lord, Nebula, Drax, and then Mantis. So I would High Evolutionary, that's the other one. So I would say those guys, and one of them may or may not be, just the airdrop. But I'm gonna get all of them. And will I go for any sub 100s? If you do need to have Gamora to burn to get the Soul Stone for the Infinity Gauntlet, then I might get some sub 100s of her. Again, everyone really likes Star-Lord. Everyone really likes Chris Pratt, so I might get him. And some of them might be interactive as well. We never had interactive Marvel Mighties up until... I was in another auction that didn't win. Goddamn. I keep forgetting about these auctions. So sorry. Yeah, we didn't have these interactive Marvel Mighties up until the most recent set. Oh, nope, that's the comics. Don't want the comics. Want to go to the full sets. I really would have liked the interactive ones for the Black Panther one. I really would have liked it if M'Baku like had a weapon, and he was swinging it around, or if Riri Williams were to go and just have something. But they don't, or Okoye having her staff going like that. But the only ones we have that are interactive is Cassie. Well, actually, it's the whole set that's interactive. Even though the Hank Pym and Jan Van Dyne, you just like remove her glasses and you remove his glass. Like it's something really not that good. But the ones with Cassie Lang, who's Stinger, Hope Van Dyne, who's Wasp, and Scott Lang, who's Ant-Man, all of their masks come off, and you get to see them with and without their masks, which is really cool. If the next ones are interactive, Peter Quill also has that mask that he can go on and off. Maybe his boots go on fire. Groot, he might do something. I don't know what. Maybe they have him in a scarf or something. Nebula, she might come apart because, again, she is more machine than human. You know how, like, Obi-Wan said, he's more machine than man now, you know, talking about Darth Vader. Same thing with Nebula. Every time that she would fight her sister Gamora, and Gamora would beat the crap out of her because that's what Thanos is making him do, Thanos took her apart and put her back together again in hopes to make her better. So she is more machine than woman, even though apparently she does very, very good. So I do identify, I think, with Nebula. Well, I don't know. I'm Peter Quill. Like, he's essentially adopted. He was adopted by what's his name? I forget his name. And I was adopted, so I identify with him. I like Drax because he lost his family, and I lost my fiance years ago. Rocket the Raccoon, where he's just like he has that thing says, "You didn't change me to be perfect. You changed me just to change." Oh God, what's that line? You didn't change me to. You didn't change things to be perfect. You just didn't like the way things were. Like that type of line is so good. So I really like that about him because when I was younger and people that were kind of raised me wanted to mold me into what they wanted me to be. They didn't care about what I wanted. So I identify with most of this team. This is very it was a very interesting team. I like all of them. My favorite might have to be Nebula. I don't know how Adam Warlock does in this. Apparently, he's supposed to be a Vision type of character where he goes and he just, is kind of like a Born Yesterday type deal. They made a bunch of jokes with that in Age of Ultron. So thank you for the super chat. Those are the ones I'm gonna get all the Marvel Mighties, and some of them I might get. I don't think I'll go as crazy as I did with Cassie. I just really really love her, and again, it's partly because I really do like her. It's partly I do like the actor because she was in the Detective Pikachu movie. She is very good looking, but also she is going to be in the Young Avengers. They are setting up for that, even though she's actually like 25, 26 in real life. In the show, she's only supposed to be like in her young 20s. She's supposed to be like a kid still in the movie, just because they kind of say like, oh, she's going through this thing that's, she's like, I don't know, like anti-government, pro people with the blip, almost kind of like woke. But again, she is going to be in the Young Avengers, despite her being a bit older. In like 5 years, she's gonna be 30 to be in Young Avengers. I don't really understand it. I really hope they don't get another actor, but yeah, she's like one of the ones that's gonna be like the future of this movie. Kind of the same thing with Ms. Marvel. Even though she's going to be in the Marvels, we'll be getting Marvel Mighties for those two as well later in the year. Anyway, moving on. Where was I? Oh God. Where did I go? Okay, David saying Cabela's has betrayed Veve. He's saying negative stuff every day. He's doing so at his own peril. It is. Hang on one second. Somebody is. It was just a package. It was just a package at night. Was just a package. Okay, sorry. Somebody rang the doorbell and I was like, yeah, people that say negative stuff about Veve do so at your own peril. No one's gonna take you seriously, even if they do. Like, even if they do take you seriously now, no one's gonna take you seriously again because you're so god awfully wrong in the next year or two. Bill Gardner says, I was top 250 and now I'm dwindling. People are stacking. Whoa, you were top 250. That's dope. But it's good. I hope there comes a time where I'm never allowed in the top 500 again because so many people are stacking. And that will happen. That will happen. I'm enjoying the time in the top 500 right now. I know it won't last forever. Now we'll see. Jordan Reese says Bell's a big baby. Jordan Reese says he's made almost every mistake possible with buying high and selling low with Veve NFTs and Omi token as well. That be true. Prince Toby says, time to confess for my sins, part three. In first grade, I traded my giant Charizard EX card, which is now worth $600 for a Twinkie. Oh, all right. Well, a Groudon Pokemon card and $2. All right. That's fair. I mean, Twinkies are good. Groudon's good also. The Charizard of that generation. He's a legendary. And $2. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Um, if we're talking about sins confession time, um, in gold, silver, whatever it is, whichever one I did this in, I forget. I didn't have a Pokemon that could learn Surf on my team. I don't know. It wasn't Surf. It was Waterfall, because for whatever freaking reason, they decided to add an HM called Waterfall, and I didn't have a Gyarados. There was only a select few Pokemon that could actually learn Waterfall. It wasn't a ton of them that could learn it. And my Feraligatr could not learn Waterfall. Or maybe it could have, but it already knew Surf, it already knew Whirlpool, it already knew Slash, and then like something else. And I was like, all right, well, I needed to know these moves. So I didn't want to teach it another one. And I don't think at the time I really wanted to lose Whirlpool because I didn't have another Pokemon that could do it. Anyway, I decided to go and say, oh, all right, I need to be Waterfall. So I go to Surf back to Newbark Town to think like, okay, what can I do to get a Pokemon that can learn this? Because I don't think I had one, and I just happened to go into run into a Tentacool. It's like, oh, I'll just use this Tentacool. It's a water Pokemon, and I didn't have any Pokeballs except for my Master Ball. I was like, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to fly to Violet City, which takes 2 seconds, buy something, come back to New Bark Town and serve. I was like, oh, I'll just use Master Ball. So I used Master Ball on Tentacool, and then Tentacool couldn't even learn, it could not even learn Waterfall, so wasted the Master Ball. That was, I don't think I've ever told anyone that before. So, yeah, the Chavez Confessions, part one. Bill Gardner saying, Cavell said if I listen to him, I can get incredible gains, though. I remember his ads for the for his group that he has where he charged like $15 a month. Jesus. Bill Gardner says, did they announce any points for artworks? They did not announce it. I don't know if we do get I don't know if we get them or not. I'm sure you that might be an unfair advantage though. Well, no, they're paying for it, so they're paying for it. Mm-hmm. Smarty Pants says, we still really need to know how many MCP points an extra weightless spot will cost. Without that, our points are all relative, like 100 or 1,000 points per spot. 10K, 100K makes a big difference. It does. I don't really see it being more than... I don't see it being $100,000 for 100,000 points for a spot. I could see it being, 1,000 points. Maybe maybe not even 1,000 points. Just because if you're going to want extra spots... If something really good, are you going to blow 300,000 points for 300 extra spots? I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Janoy Evans says, Randy, I made a mistake. I have 569 and 623 comics. Sorry, typo. It's all good. I feel you. Goo Blob says, how can I find the Veve logo on the app? I looked up keyword logo and it doesn't come up. Well, there's a couple of ways that you could go and find it. I'll try to find it for you right now. I think if you just search Veve, it should come up. Oh, it does not. Maybe Veve. Oh, shoot. Well, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to brands. And then you go to the brands, and then you're going to have to scroll. Can you... Oh, you can search by Z to A. Oh, that's dope. Okay, so when you search by Z to A, you go to the Veve thing. And then you're... Oh, what the fudge. Okay. All right, you're going to go to this Veve one then. And then it should... What the fudge? Why doesn't it have that? Okay. All right, so you are going to go to the market down there. And then you're going to go to brands. And then you're going to go to view all. And then you're going to search Z to A. And then it should come up. There it is. And then you'll be able to see that the floor is about 3,400 right now. And, I don't know, did this go and... Did a logo sell? I think a logo might have sold, if I'm not mistaken. Because I haven't checked it, I think, all day. So you could have very well had something that had sold. Maybe it didn't, because I'm at like 11 hours now, and it hasn't been on the Veve feed. So maybe I'm tripping. Yeah, it hasn't been there. So I think somebody had just happened to go and up it to 3,400, which is fine. That's the floor right now. So I'm really hoping it kind of stays down there or goes lower so I can go and get another one. I'm really hoping to get one around the 3K. I don't know if that's possible, but again, we shall see. As soon, hold on, a couple of podcasts, and then also picking up, so from you, question mark, not question mark, winky face, because I'm gonna work. Smarty Pants says if yoy. I know it says if yoy. Bill Garner says you're right, 1,200. What's that guy's Twitter's that post it? The guy's Twitter that posted, I think it's Norbid Alive or something like that. Let me check to see the dude's name. Oh God, I forget his name. Oh, I have to. All right, maybe I think I could check in my messages, and it might be there, but I'm not 100% sure it will be. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, who dat? Hi. Yeah. Lady friend saying hi. Yeah, I don't know the dude's name, unfortunately. I'll be I'm gonna have to. He'll post tomorrow. When he posts it, I'll go and share it with you. Super chat coming in from Taco Break saying, still have not gotten Veve MCP points. When should we expect it? Well, I think only about 60 or so, or maybe 70% of people have it at this point. Everyone will get it by the end of the quarter. So maximum you'll have to wait 2 months, but they are rolling it out, new users every couple of weeks. But again, there's somebody that I know that's in the top 30 wallets that doesn't have it yet. So it's not just you. Trust me, there's loads of people. I think like I didn't get it until recently either. But again, just because you have it right now doesn't mean you can use the points. We can't use them right now anyway. It is just nice to see though. We should be getting another update coming in. They'll do it on Tuesday, and we should get it by Thursday. So if you go to the Play Store or the iOS store, you'll go and type in Veve, and right where it says open, it'll say something to update. We should be able to get that on Thursday, so I'm kind of excited about that. Can't wait. Can't wait. Once I get those, I'll be working. I need more, and this, and okay, moving on. So yeah, we'll definitely get that before the end of the quarter. So was it May? Sometime in May or sometime in June. And then, but again, it is still in beta as we have it now. We won't really actually be able to use it until I think Q3. Once that rolls out, we should be able to get the wait list. Again, the wait list is already updated in the system. We just need a drop in order to do that. And speaking of that drop, they are going to give us those. We were supposed to get Veve letters if you had attended the DCOM kickoff party last year in May in California. You were promised Veve letters. We will get those at some point, but they won't be letters anymore. It will just be another logo, but it'll just be not a gold and silver logo. It'll be like a white and blue or blue and black Veve letters, and you'll get something like that. Other people will be able to buy that, of course. So if you can't buy like the gold and silver logo, you can get this one. And the people that got it, again, I don't know how many it's going to be, but there's going to be probably a bunch. But again, those people that attended that party will get those for free. Moving on, where was I? Oh, and back to your last super chat, Taco Breaks. Again, which Star Wars or Marvel Mighty's getting next week? The Star Wars, definitely Admiral Akbar. He's really cool. And if they get Luke, gotta get Luke. It really depends on what's going to happen. The Marvel Mighties, I'm going to get them all. If we actually do have to burn Gamora, I will be getting a bunch of sub 100 Gamora. I want some hundreds of all of them. They're really cool. Rocket's so dope. Freaking love him. And this is apparently you're gonna be able to you're gonna cry in this movie. So you're probably gonna have a couple of deaths. We've had Batista go on social media, go out and say, "Hey, yeah, this is gonna be my last movie." Even though that with the multiverse and with Secret Wars, a lot of these characters are probably gonna come back. Even if so nobody really dies in comic books. They're just like, there's going to be another run. They're going to, and again, after Secret Wars, there might be a reboot of the MCU anyway, just because that's what everyone said they should have done after the Secret Wars that happened in Marvel Comics, where they should have done a whole reboot of it, but they wound up kind of not doing one, even though I think they should have. That's what they might do here. But Secret Wars, everyone's coming back. Everyone should be coming back for that. You're going to see multiple versions of the Hulk. You're going to see multiple versions. You're going to have old Hulk. You're going to have World Breaker Hulk. So it's gonna be so good. You're gonna have so many different versions of Thor in the Thor Corps. Jane Foster will be back. I don't know how they're going to bring her back. Originally, I don't think she had died originally in the comics. She's like whatever. But you do have Chitala's Black Panther that was King of the Dead, who had operated with the Infinity Gauntlet, commanded the army of the dead, commanded all these zombies. It was dope. It was so freaking cool. You do have Thanos come back in the but again, I don't know if they're going to do that, but Doctor Doom, Thanos fight does not go the way you would think. It is freaking wild. Thanos comes back like, he says Loki's lines like, "You'll never know." Like, in Loki says, "You'll never be a god." And then he dies. Thanos goes like, "You'll never know what it's like to be a god." And then it's, oh my God, it's so epic. And then, dude, not Rich Reed. That's a buddy of mine. It's backwards. Reed Richards fighting Doctor Doom, and they hate each other. It is, oh my God, all of the aggression comes out, and they're just like, ah. It is, oh my God, I cannot even tell you how amazing that fight is going to be. The Reed Richards versus Doctor Doom. I feel like when I get into deep into comic books, I feel like Joey Diaz talking to Joe Rogan, be like, "Let me tell you, Joe Rogan." That's just what I feel like it is. Let me tell you, it is some of the greatest things that you'll ever see come out of a movie. Apparently, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is dope, and which really gets me excited for the DC, because James Gunn apparently knows what he's doing. Anyway, what was it? Smarty Pants says, if you can get to the top 200 ranks, you can most likely assume you'll be Master Collector, because that's about 0.03% of the total unique wallets. A rough but good way to gauge for those interested. That is really interesting. Let's see what it takes to get into the top 200. Let's say if you're new, right? Ooh, how do you... Okay, all right. Oh, okay. I buy... All right, so buy USDC on Coinbase, then transfer it to Bitforex, then sell USDC for USDT, then use USDT to buy OMI. That's how you got to do it. And then, transfer to Trust Wallet. We got a super chat coming in from Taco Breaks. Do you recommend being a Marvel Mighties holder? Well, all right, so let's take a look at this from every different angle possible. If you're just a collector, if you just like something, listen, there are thousands, if not tens of thousands of Charizards, from first edition to Shadowless to Unlimited. And that's just in the base set. And then you have base set 2, where it's the same exact artwork. It just has 2 on the right. And then you have Legendary Collection. Same exact artwork. It's just a reverse holo. Or it's a regular holo. It's just the same thing. Then you have the 25th anniversary artwork. Same thing. Or I'm sorry, the 20th anniversary artwork. It's the same thing. And the 25th. Same thing. There's so many different versions of that with the same artwork. And they still go, even the Unlimited, it's like a couple $100. Why I say that is because, and I'll get to Pokemon in a minute, there are so few of these, of the miners. Now, there are some, let's say Mr. Fantastic and the Thing. There are 28,000 of those. 28,000. I feel like Mickey, where he's talking to Rocky, he's like, for a 45-minute fight, you gotta train for 45,000. 45,000. That's 6 hours. That's 7 days a week. That's 10 hours a day. You listening? I feel like when you're going, I made a Rocky 2 reference. Rocky 2, Rocky 1, whatever it was. When you go on and you're taking a look at some of these Marvel Mighties, 28,000 might seem like a lot for us right now when there's so few users. And that's why we have some of these Marvel Mighties with 4,200. 3,200. Like 4,200. And that's for the common. That 4,200 is not like a secret rare. That 4,200 that you have for M'Baku, that's the King of Wakanda. That's a common. Queen Ramonda, Queen of Wakanda, 4,200. She's a common. And then you take a look at same thing when you have Ant-Man and Wasp. They're popular characters. They're Avengers, and you can get them for like $7 a piece. All right. Let's just go crazy. Let's say $8 for Ant-Man. So let's take away out of the 4,200 that there are. Let's take away 99 and then let's take 90 and then 59. So 90 plus 59 equals 149 because Marvel and Veve keep 90. And then there is an additional 59 sub 100s, which are special mints. So together we have 149. So we take 4,200 and we minus 159. That's 4,041, right? And Ant-Man, let's say he's $8 right now. That is $32,000. $32,000. Could you imagine having let's just say a Slave One, Boba Fett ship. Let's just say a Naboo cruiser. If you could go and buy every single action figure, every single toy that a lot of kids and adults would want for $32,000 and you become the store. But if people knew that that's what they could do, if you have a bunch of people that are smart and you have a bunch of people that have money, I feel like fairly seldom in this app, and when I say money, I mean like money. Very seldomly in this app, those two mix. Like there are those two, like if you make a Venn diagram, there's a very small sliver of space where people that know what they could do with money and they actually have money to do it. You would be buying all of these first appearances. I don't even just mean Mighties. I mean first appearances, and especially that are animated, of a lot of these characters. They don't have to be Mighties. They can be whatever they are. Why I'm bullish on the Mighties in general is because a lot of them do have first appearances. A lot of them, like Captain America, Steve Rogers, even though the Captain America that's animated, like the old school, like even though that one is clearly far superior as far as like graphics, artwork, the sound, the animation, it's not a first appearance. Even though that's the better looking one, the first appearance, people will love both, but Marvel Mighties has most of the first appearances from Marvel. Yeah, Deadpool, Spider-Man, those ones. The Black Panther for Chitala Black Panther. Those first appearances are the normal statues. Even Loki. One of the first variants of Loki was a alligator Loki. First variant. Now there's multiple variants of him. So Loki obviously does have his own first appearance of the Mighties. But Thor doesn't have his first appearance of the Mighties. That first appearance belongs to his statue. But Captain America has it. Ant-Man has it. Falcon has it. All of the Fantastic Four, which is freaking heckin' ridiculous. That's significant. And I know it's only $2 super chat, but this is important. If you could, while we're talking about Ant-Man, that again, he's just he's not just like a random character like Nakia. Nakia is a random character, and yeah, Black Panther's love interest was it's kind of a random character that if you say, oh, I like Nakia, like even if that's your favorite character, they'll be like, wait, who's Nakia? Oh, okay, and then they'll go and they'll say that. If you say my favorite character is Ant-Man, everyone knows who that is, at least that watches the MCU. So I'm making an example out of Ant-Man is because for let's say less than $50,000, because obviously they're not all just listed for $8, and not all of them are listed. The Ant-Man, let's take a look at him. Let's go. There's only 53 of them listed. So if you buy the bottom 10, let's say for $80, right? Now suddenly there's only 43 listed. So you buy the bottom 10 for $80. And then let's say you do that again. You buy the bottom 10 again for 95. So now you're at 175, right? And now there's only 33 left after you spend $175 and you buy and then let's say you go crazy. There's 175 left, right? Let's say 130. Okay, so now you're at $305 left. You have $305, you buy more than half the supply, and now the floor is double at $16. At that point, you could probably wait for it to go down again. There's going to be a bunch of people that bought Ant-Man for $3, $4, $5, like, oh, I tripled my money, 4x my money. You don't want to buy the next bottom 10, which would cost $200. You're going to want to wait for that to go back down to, maybe it doesn't go back down to $8, but maybe it goes from 16 to 10. And then you could just buy from 10, spend another $120 instead of $200. You could buy all of the Ant-Mans. And again, why I'm so bullish on some of these Mighties is because you can get an Avenger, all of the Scott Langs, again, $32,000. But then you can take, why I'm more bullish on him, and again, for Ant-Man, I don't have a ton of him. I think I have 2 sub-100s of him, and I have 9 of his editions. I don't have anywhere near close that I do have of, let's say, Lady Deadpool. Now, Lady Deadpool is one of my favorite characters. Wanda Wilson is Wade Wilson, but, female version of him. I have 76 of her. If you were to say, Chavez, would you rather get Ant-Man or Wanda, Lady Deadpool, would you get Ant-Man? Why? Because for Ant-Man, you can get 42 of him, and you could have 1% of the supply. Again, you could buy his entire supply for $32,000 if they were all, but let's just say less than 50. Let's say $40,000, and you have the whole supply, and you become the store. To do that with Lady Deadpool, all right, there's 13,000 of her. So let's say you take away that 149, right? So 13,000 minus 149, 12,851. There's still a lot of her. And granted, her floor is $3 right now, but let's say the floor is $5, $64,000 to become the store. Whereas Ant-Man, it's literally half that. Why would I pay more? Why would I pay double the amount that I could pay for Ant-Man for a lesser character where it's not going to go back up? At least it's not as popular of a character. You have to pay double the amount that you would have to pay to buy the whole supply of Ant-Man. You have to pay double that amount for Lady Deadpool when she's not as popular of a character. There's not as much demand. I think people are absolutely sleeping on these first editions, especially when Ant-Man's interactive. Especially when he's interactive. So when I sit here and I think like collectible, like even if you're just a collector, sure, get them. But I know your super chat saying, do you recommend being a Marvel Mighties holder? I'm not going to sit here saying like, oh, it's like the Infinity Stones. You get all of them and you're going to, like, it's not like that. I also think Marvel Mighties are very similar to Pokemon, where not everyone likes every single Pokemon set. I'm not really a fan of the Rocket set. Even though Rocket has some really sick artwork. It has Dark Blastoise. It has Dark Charizard. I think Rocket set's the first one to ever have a secret rare, because it has, I think, that secret rare Dark Pikachu. Not Dark Pikachu, Dark Raichu. There's a lot of layers to that Rocket set. I'm just not a fan of it. I don't really like some of the artwork, and I don't like the fact that they're dark. And the fact that they're cool, but if they were like badass and strong, that'd be dope. But Team Rocket, they force their Pokemon to evolve early, so they're just not as strong. Um, they're just not as playable. Like they're not playable at all. Now that being said, like okay, well, what does that have to do with Marvel Mighties? You can know all of the Pokemon sets, and you can, but doesn't mean you have to like them. Like I love Gym Challenge. I don't necessarily like the Rocket set. I like everyone loves base set. I like the Neo Destiny set, and maybe you don't like the Neo Rev set. Same thing with Marvel Mighties. Just because you really like, let's say, the Captain America ones, or you like the Fantastic Four Marvel Mighties, doesn't mean that you like the Deadpool ones. Just because you like most of the rest of them, most people probably won't like the Eternals. I have the Eternals just to have them. But I like if you say like, hey Chavez, which Marvel Mighty set would you get? Which one's going to have the best ROI? I'm telling you that the Eternals are probably going to be the lowest on that list. Maybe the Deadpool chimichanga truck might be lower on the list because people don't seem to like that. I don't know why. Well, I think I have an idea because most of them, all of these, like, oh, this is series one, this is two, this is three, but the chimichanga truck, it doesn't have a series. So the Thor Marvel Mighties are series seven. Skip the chimichanga truck, and then it's series eight for the so the Marvel Mighty's truck, the chimichanga truck. I don't know why people don't really like it. Anyway, I would say most things are better than the Eternals, with the exception of maybe the chimichanga truck. Even though I really love that one, um, I would say the Ant-Man ones right now are the best because the whole set is still very very cheap. I think only the Jan Van Dyne is at retail. Yeah, it was $13 a blind box. She's $14. So that whole set is very, very cheap. And then you also, on top of that, I know I have another super chat. I'll get to that real quick. This is the cheapest Marvel Secret Rare with MODOK. The MODOK Secret Rare is $27. So you can get this whole set, let's say 7, let's say 6, that's 13, plus the other 14, so that's 27. So M has 8, so that's 35. And then I think the old Ant-Man is like $8. So that's 43 plus the 27. All right, so it's $70 for the set. But so it's a very cheap set when you compare it to let's say the set that came before it. Again, $70 for the whole set. Or you have a Namor, which is the ultra rare of the last one, and it's $85 just for that one. In my opinion, that Ant-Man set is probably the best Marvel Mighty set because they're interactive as well. They're interactive. It's $70 for the whole set. The only there are other cheaper sets, like you have the Deadpool Chimichanga truck, which is $11 for everyone should get that just for the set, just to get for the MCP points. And then the same with Captain Carter. Captain Carter's a little more expensive. She's like $22, I think. $21. She's below retail. I think those are really good to get. Again, it's not financial advice, but yeah, that Ant-Man set, again, because that one also has that secret rare. I almost dropped my phone. Anyway, another super chat coming in from Taco Break saying, we have 4 lightsabers. When should we expect the Jedis to wield them? Well, we have 5. Technically 6 because Ahsoka has, the dual ones. I think the first one might be next month. Or in like 2 weeks, or like a week or so when we get the Star Wars set. Obviously we're having Admiral Akbar. Leia would be cool. Han Solo would be cool. Chewie would be cool. But I really, really want a Luke Skywalker. I really, really, because again, it's going to be, if Admiral Akbar's in it, it's going to be from the older movies. It's going to be from the OG series. I'm really thinking that we really should get Luke. Maybe Yoda. Yoda would be cool. It's going to be one of those. Obviously, Mace Windu and Kylo Ren are not going to come in that set because they were a little bit more modern, or they're from the prequels. I guess you could get the Emperor, but he doesn't have a so, and Ahsoka Tano is obviously old. I mean, she wasn't in those movies. She's alive when all of that goes down. Like she's somewhere out and about in the universe, in the galaxy, doing her own thing. I think she was looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn at that point. Yeah, she was looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn, but she's not in the whole series, so we won't get her. Won't get Mace Windu or Kylo Ren. So that really just leaves Yoda or Luke Skywalker. The other ones, I don't know. I think very similar to the Infinity Stones. It's going to happen over years. I don't think it happens like in one month or one, the course of one quarter. I think that's going to be something that's going to be a delayed gratification where they'll give us like two or three a year. And maybe over the course of 2.5 years, we get all of them. Maybe even 3 years. Because as much as we love the Infinity Stones, the Star Wars characters, they just have more meat to them. They have more. Infinity Stones are great, but they don't compare to like Luke Skywalker, and they don't compare to Yoda. Like those are, oh my god, those characters. Like stones are technically, even though they do kind of think and they are part of the fabric of the universe, they're not characters with like heart. They're not characters that like you grew up with. They're inanimate objects for the most part. And there are a ton of them in the Loki series. Bill Gardner saying, "Sorry, Gamora, it's not personal. A soul for a soul." Bill Gardner, I love you so heckin' much, man. Um, yeah, soul for a soul. And this is why if you do have to outburn Gamora, I'm gonna stack Gamoras because then what? Now, most likely, all right. What's the rarities gonna be? Star Lord's probably gonna be a common. Gamora might also be a common. Gamora, I don't think dies. I don't think Star Lord will die. And just because this is the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, doesn't mean that we won't get other Guardians in other movies. Like we're probably going to get Guardians in other movies. Again, Secret Wars. They might show up in the Kang Dynasty. They might not. I don't know. But yeah, they'll be in other places. Again, they're like space. They're space people. So we're gonna see them a lot in space. But I would say Gamora would probably be a common. I'm very curious to see what the uh, what the particular mints are, because for the last two sets, the commons have been 4,200, and the ultra rares and whatnot have been 2,500. But well, actually no, the rare on the Wakanda set, that was 2,500. The ultra rare was actually only 1,000, which really means 910. That's why you have less than 900 Shuri Black Panthers. So even if you wanted every set like Taco Breaks was doing over there, like he was asking a couple of super chats ago, there are less than 900 people that could ever get all of the Marvel Mighties because there's less than 900 Shuris, the Shuri Black Panthers. So it's very hard for people to get that, and that's why like people won't be like, "Oh yeah, I have all of them." People are just gonna be like, "Well, I have this set, or these two sets." So like most people won't get all of the Mighty sets, partly because they won't, partly because they can't, but also partly because like, at some point you're gonna have these going on for years. There's gonna be so many sets, and it's like not everyone tries to get all Pokemon sets. They get their favorite sets, and a lot of them just get their favorite ones within the set. I don't really like Jan Van Dyne. I don't really like the old, Ant-Man. Even though I do love Michael Douglas, I got him just because master collector. Gotta catch them all. Um, but yeah, the Gamora, I'd really like to stack if she's 4,200. If the commons are 4,200, I'll stack a lot of Gamoras. If we've reached bottom and they said no, the commons are going to be like 6,000, I'm going to stack the fudge out of Ant-Man and Cassie and Wasp. Stack the fudge out of them. We got super chat from Taco Break saying, "When do we get Wolverine #1 comic?" They've been teasing that for a while. We tend to get, I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but we tend to get really like Grail-like things when sentiment's really bad. So I don't know. The next time they mess up, hey, let's drop Wolverine. David's been teasing that for like 2 years now. I don't know. There's not going to be well, he'll be in the next Deadpool movie. So you might actually go and they might release it for that movie. When does that movie come out? I think it's next year. It might be this year. Let's see. Deadpool 3. Oh, it comes out next year. Oh, November of next year. Oh, man. So, sorry, Taco Breaks. We might not get it for another year and a half. Ugh. Not a fan of that. Yeah, we might actually not get that for a year and a half. It'll be great when we do get it. I'll be super excited for it. You know, I got some super. What time is it? What time is it? It's 8. It's almost 9 o'clock. I'm gonna take a drink because I deserve it. Take that off camera real quick. Oh, peanut butter whiskey, so good. I said I was gonna take that after my first super chat, and then I completely forgot. So, oh my god, that's so good. It's been a while. I haven't drank since Mexico. So yeah, I would say a year and a half. Could they drop it beforehand? Sure. Maybe they want to go and say, oh, well, Deadpool, we want to focus on more Deadpool stuff, even though we already have first appearance of Deadpool, we have Deadpool Mighties, we have the Deadpool first appearance. There's already a lot of that had happened. So maybe they would go and say, hey, we'll save that for that point. I'm not sure what we would do. We'll probably get posters for it. Um, I mean, you could. I mean, we already have Deadpool. Well, the Deadpool Mighties we have is just different versions of Deadpool, but they don't have everyone. They don't have Skullpool, or I'm sorry, not it's not Skullpool. We don't have Headpool and we don't have Kidpool. Those are really really dope. I mean, there's a whole bunch of Deadpools in there. There's like Horsepool. There's a whole bunch of them. Um, the other ones that I think we might have to get. Who's the? I forget the foreign Indian dude that's there, and then I forget the old lady, and then I guess Cable. Although Cable might be his own. Anyway, um, dude, we're going to get Wolverine minded, but the Wolverine comic. If they save it for that movie, then we'll get it in a year and a half. I really do hope we do get it before then because David has been teasing that for a while. I'm hoping before the end of this year, but who knows? Now, where was I before all these super chats? Yep, on the Veve logo. Oh yeah, so Smarty Pants saying the top 200. All right, let's see the top 200. What you need to. Oh no, I don't want the news. Thanks, bro. I wanted the news, not the weather. It was Raimundo from Rocket Power saying that to Tito, I believe. All right, so if you're in the top 200, oh my God, you need to have. Last week it was 1681. You would now probably need to have 1700 collectibles to be in the top 200. Let's say that costs you $5,000. Which Chavez, can't you just buy $2 comics? Listen, guy, I know I'm talking to myself here. Hang on. Oh my God, that physics. Okay. Oh my God, I need to wipe my face there. The $2 comics are not going to last, and again, up until the last 2 weeks, you could find comics for $1.71, $1.60. I've gotten lucky with comics that were $1.50. Just between me and like a couple of other people trying to get in these top 500 wallets, the $2 comics are gone. Anything less than $2 is not on there anymore for more than like 10 minutes. And I'll show you. I'll prove it to you right now. Let's go to the profile. Go to the comics right here. And all right, Captain Marvel. I've got a couple of her. We go there and we'll look at the price. $209. Let's try Squirrel Girl. Got 14 of her. $245. You see, the last one I bought was like $1.88. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, but the safest place is Bikanga City. This is where I grew up. Tis a hidden city. Hidden. Okay, hiccups. Spider-Man number 5. $209. Last I purchased was $1.72. And obviously, I could do this all. Am I Captain America? Because I could do this all day. Yeah, I know. $213 for this one. This one is Spider-Man number 4. Uncanny X-Men number 244. $205. If there's anyone under $2, I'll get it. The New Mutants Annual number 2. $220. Spider-Man number 2. Let's see what this one is. Spider-Man number 2. $214. Like there's, and all of these that I have, I had bought under $2. Captain America Fallen Sun, $210. Young Avengers number 12, $217. Yeah, so let's say that you'd have to spend an average, and you don't just want to buy stuff. Marvel Zombies is $209. Let's say you don't have things that that you want to get things that you like and not just things that are um, just to get in the top 500 wallets. If you could find all of these comics for, let's say, $3, right? $3, and let's say 1,700. That's still a lot. Oh, there I am. You're still looking at $5,100 um, to get in the top 200, which again is not a ton if you go and say, oh, and that's if you start from zero. That's if you start from scratch. But most likely you're going to want to spend some stuff that are things that you like. Oh, hey, $30 for this, $10 for this, $300 for that. Super chat coming in from Taco Break says, why did David tell you to get the Deadpool truck? He didn't necessarily tell me to get the Deadpool truck. He just said it was in San Diego Comic-Con last year. He's like, oh, hey, did you get the Deadpool truck? Yeah, and he meant the Chimichanga truck, but he just said Deadpool truck. I was like, yeah, I have all the Marvel Mighties. He's like, you have all the Marvel Mighties? I was like, yeah. I was like, oh my god, should I be excited about the Marvel Mighties? Sorry, I had uncontrollable flailing of my upper extremities. I was like, oh my god. So then I started to think, why was he so excited? I just happen to think that's really just David's like go-to energy, like his like. There's one guy, Paulie, that I used to deliver pizzas with. We used to call him the Turtle because he had one speed. It was slow. He'd be like, "Oh, hey Chavez," and he would go to his car. He would drive the car really slow, and we'd see him like a half hour later. I'd be making all the boxes. I'd be doing all the. I'd be answering the phone. Because everyone there only spoke Spanish. And like, anyway, David's like his like base energy is just excited. Like if you ever see Mr. T in an interview, like, oh, I'm Mr. T. Yeah, I do this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna work out for the A team. I'm gonna work out for Rocky. I'm gonna work out for wrestling WWE. Like he's just got that energy. Like David just has that one speed. Like he's always excited. He's always like, especially when I know when you see him on the community updates, he's very like professional, very like, yes, we're going to do this. We were just here. We did this. Here's the reasons for that. Here's our collectibles corner. But if you get to see him at a con, if you get to see him in his element, he's like a kid in the candy store. That's his thing. And for anyone that's like me, that just love, like when you get really passionate about something, when you get really passionate about, let's say like animals, like when I was younger, I wanted to be a veterinarian. And the first job the first job I ever had was technically washing dishes, but the first job I ever had was at East Village Green Animal Hospital. I started volunteering at 13. They gave me a job at 14 because I was such a hard worker. So I was so passionate about it. And I had a point to this. Oh, I just got lost. Oh yeah, so when you get lost in things, like, so when I got to like I didn't care that I was getting paid $7 an hour at first back in 2004. That was a pretty decent wage, $7 an hour in 2004. Wow, that was a long time ago. That was 19 years ago. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Anyway, because I was passionate about it. When I went to a zoo, when I got to see all these exotic animals, like, oh my god, exciting. When I went to my first Comic-Con, like, oh my god, oh, Cosmo and Wanda, oh my god, you're Cable, oh my god, you're Dim, oh my god, I just freaking autist overload. And David is that very much that same way at a con. He's just baseline excited. He's like, hey Randy, how's it going? And then, hey, did you see this artist? I got this artist. You saw him. Look at that picture. That I'm going to show you something. This is important. And I promise I'm getting to your question. If you go and you search David Yu NZ over on the Instagram, and you go to the post from 6 days ago with the Batman black and white. Oh shoot, that's not it. Hold on, where's that? All right, here we go. The post from 6 days ago, where he's showing the iconic Frank Miller poster. Look at that smile on David's face. He's so happy. Why is he so happy? Because a buddy of mine, Chaco Jester, shout out to him, was able to go and give David this experience. He says, Frank Miller cover art for the first issue of Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, achieved a US $2.4 million at Heritage Auction sale in June 2022. I have this theory that David actually bought it. He didn't say if he did though. He said, making it the most expensive mainstream American comic book cover art sold publicly. Frank is also the creator of Elektra, first appeared in Daredevil number 168. He's just a kid in a candy shop. So when he went and he said to me, he's like, and he asked if I had the Deadpool chimichanga truck. I was like, yeah, yeah, I have all the Marvel Mighties. Like, you have all the Marvel Mighties? Like, I don't think that was him saying like, oh, good, because we have something big planned. I think it was just him saying like, oh my God, that's so cool. You're a collector. You have all of them. I think it was just sharing his excitement and just being high on that energy because there's a different energy. Go to different places. Like, go to I don't know why my mind goes to such morbid places. Like if you go to like Ground Zero, where Twin Towers were, and you have these, I don't know, you go and you see all like the chains of like the dog tags of these, firemen and police officers and people that had died that day. You feel a different energy. Go to Gettysburg. When I was stationed at Fort Lee in Virginia, we got a chance to go to Gettysburg. There's a different energy there. You go to Comic Con, there's a whole different energy. You ever in like a sporting event, say like basketball game, someone hits like a half court shot and suddenly, oh, like the whole place just fills with this electric energy. So I think that's what David just had. He was just feeling that energy. He was feeling the weekend. He was like, oh my God, Ren, you're not just this crazy YouTuber that just throws all of his money into Omi, but you're actually a collector too. Like I think that was just it. Now again, I could be completely wrong. I could be completely wrong, and David could have very well have something planned for the Marvel Mighties. Now we actually do have something planned for the Marvel Mighties in the Feesh universe. Link down below to the Feeshes. You can mint a Feesh there. It's a great project. But eventually, when there's interoperability, you will be able to go and use your Marvel Mighties and put them in the Feesh mech suits and fight with them. Now, is that something that David would get super excited about? Maybe. But I think this is just David Speed. And some more evidence to that was when I was at a dinner with him in New York Comic Con. Excuse me. It was I had told David about we were talking about the Veve logo. He's like, yeah, Randy, you have the Veve logo, right? Like, yeah, yeah, I have number 41. He's like, you have number 41? It was the same exact energy on when I told him I had all the Marvel Mighties. So I think that's just his baseline, his mood, his happiness. I love talking about. I feel like Lindsay Lohan in Mean Girls, where he's like, I always want to talk about Regina George, and if I'm not talking about Regina George, I wait for somebody else to bring up Regina George so I can talk about Regina George. Like anyway, moving on here. Where was I before the stream of super chats? Where was I? Special Mark Mormini, Prince Toby. No, where was I? Okay, if you can go. Oh yeah, so Smarty Pants. Getting back to your comment. I know it's like an hour ago at this point. Yeah, you'd have to spend like $5,000 to get in the top 200. Now, someone like me that's already in the top 500. Yeah, some weird flex, but okay. I'll definitely be in the top 450 this time. Let's say 1128. Let's say 1130. Well, I mean 1140, 1150 to 1681. That's another five. Let's say 550. Let's say 600 by the time. Now I would have to put like $2,000 in to get to the top 200. And that's if I really keep my spending low and I only buy these $2 comics, or when the comics get too high, I buy these stamps that are worth a couple dollars. Now at that point, why not just buy some Marvel Mighties, because those are going to be worth a little bit more than stamps or comics that won't go anywhere. But yeah, moving on. Goo Blob says, did you hear about Tyler the Great Warrior auction on eBay this week? No, who's Tyler the Great Warrior auction on eBay? Tell me about this, Goo Blob. Tell me. Prince Toby says, you should react to the hilarious commercial Jones Barbecue. Wait, hold on. Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. Yeah, no, bruh. You know how like there's a very old saying that a lot of, I don't know why old people say this, where it's like, oh, you can't shit an old shitter. Meaning like, oh, hey, you used to lie back in the day too. I guess relating to us. Anyway, remember in Chronicles of Narnia where Liam Neeson, who plays Aslan, is talking to like the ice witch lady, who's actually the ancient one from Doctor Strange. Yes, the ancient one who is like the Doctor Strange before Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. She's the keeper of the time stone. She's actually the white witch, the white lady in Aslan. Anyway, she goes at Aslan and talks about like the ancient magic, and then Aslan says, "Do not cite the ancient magic to me, witch. I was there when it was written." In that same breath, Prince Toby, I will say, do not cite the ancient commercial memes of Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage to me. I was there when it was made. I know I'm looking a little crazy right now, but I'm just very tired from the week. Having a little bit to drink. I'm just feeling myself. Yeah, I've been laughing at Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage for quite a long time. Quite a long time. Where was I? Says, I already got my stepdad to show it to Dan and David Yu during a party at New York Comic Con. That's amazing. I'm so glad that David and Dan know about Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage. You are giving me hope for this new generation that you like all of the things that we used to like. Now, I will tell you one thing. So you know how there's specific lore, like, and this is why I love the Cryptkins, man. West Virginia has Mothman. New Jersey has New Jersey Devil. Mexico has Chupacabra. When you go, that place in the Netherlands have Nessie. They have a Loch Ness Monster. For Long Island, oh God, I'm going to have to Google this because I forget the name. Long Island, a clown commercial? This was like years ago. Oh, no. Okay, so what happened in 2016 was you had these clowns that were going, and I don't know if anyone remembers. I was in Kuwait when this happened, so I wasn't here for it. But in 2016, there were just clown sightings like everywhere, where clowns were just showing up with like chainsaws and showing up to random places, and people were just like, because clowns are scary AF. This is not it. It's not. Oh, temporary tattoos. Those are so cool. Yeah. So when I googled clowns on Long Island, creepy clown sightings in Long Island. Yeah, I know. All right. Let me get to the super chat, and then we'll get to this. Taco Break says, Platinum Moments are out. Who is the next first appearance that you would like to see? That's true. The Platinum, you can no longer redeem those potions for the Platinum posters. But the next ones that I would like to see, I don't know about the next one, but I definitely want to see, if you go to my YouTube Shorts, actually, you could go to my, TikTok for this, or YouTube Shorts, you can do whatever. Let me go to the TikTok, and I'll show y'all. Do you ever feel like a misfit? Everything inside you is dark and twisted. Oh, it's okay to be different. Veve Magic, bless her heart. I love her so much. She goes out and posts. Okay, so no, I don't want that. I don't want to share it. Okay. Directly correlates to pins as physical counterparts. So you see some of the pins. Okay. You see. Oh no, that's not it. I think you can get a Simba as a platinum moment. And I think you can get Grogu. Okay, hold on. So we've got Tinkerbell, Winnie the Pooh, Stitch. Who's that dude from not Encanto? The other Spanish musical thing that they did with Day of the Dead. So you have that. You have Chewbacca. Those guys are really cool. So we have a lot of the top already. Okay, who's Rachel? I don't know who that is. Oh, okay. And then you have, I think that's. Is that Alice from Alice in Wonderland right there? So you have that. Again, you have Simba as well. Oh, Coco. Good call. And then you have Nemo down there. Nemo's really cool. But dude, Simba? Oh my God, give me Simba. Give me Mufasa. Mufasa. Sorry. It's from the movie. It's from Lion King, where the hyenas are talking about. I think Whoopi Goldberg was one of the hyenas. Anyway. When I asked her Simba, give me Grogu. I think there's like an adult version of Moana in there. There's a bunch of them. I have my Sleeping Comics hat on in that one. Oh, there's a Spider-Man one too. There's a Ms. Marvel. Like, there's a bunch. But I really would say, who's this friend that wants to add me? I don't know who that is. Yeah, I would really go out and say Simba and Grogu. Those are my people. Also, if everyone could smash that like button as a free way to help support the channel, do it. Do it. Okay, sorry. Yeah. But again, Simba and Grogu, I don't want to say like, oh, it's the next one I hope I see. I actually hope that they don't give us that for several months, because next month, like I said, in the next couple of weeks, there's so many things that are going to be on the app that I'm going to want to buy that I'm not going to try for the top 400 in the next 2 weeks. It just, I'll be in the top 450 next week, or in like 2 days tomorrow. But it's just being in that, I can't get that if I'm going to spend, let's say I get 10 Marvel Mighties boxes. That's $130, and I might not even get the full set, depending on how many there are. And then if I want any sub 100s, or if I want to stack, like, again, it's going to be $500 for that. And then if we get the Star Wars stuff and it's good, dude, it's going to be, like $1,000 for that. And I shouldn't spend money on that. I should just buy more Omi. It's hard. But I love this stuff. Like, this stuff is, Anywho, I hope they don't give us it for a while, but Grogu and Simba, those are the ones that I would really like to see. Where was I? MCP points, posts. Oh yeah. All right. So anyway, Prince Toby. So if I'm gonna go and I'm gonna Google this, Long Island Clown commercial, 2012 maybe. No, it's not like. Okay, Long Island Clown commercial. Maybe I'll put Queens, because I think it was in Queens Clown commercial. No, dude, I don't. Listen, it was really late at night in like the early 2010s, right? And there were just these commercials about this dude. The black dude is Uncle. Oh God, it was like Uncle Clowny or Uncle Homie, like not Homie the Clown. Uncle Clown, Long Island. I misspelled that. Remember? Oh wait, hold on. Uncle Magic, the hip hop magician. That's what he was called. Hold on, wait a second.
Birthday parties, we have magic shows, balloon animals, games for kids, popcorn machine, cotton candy machine, and bouncing castle. Call for your kids' birthday parties. 212-613-MAGIC. Who's your favorite uncle? Uncle Magic!
That kid had no teeth. But yeah, that's. So I don't know what we were even talking about. Oh yeah, we're talking about like old lore. That was the craziest lore that we could ever like think of. Hold on. Let me go back to my channel and let me go to this live and let me start watching this. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that was I am very well versed in the old school ways of that stuff. Now, where was I? Underpants Stars, Prince Toby. Yep. Okay. Christopher Merton says, "Oh, talk about cheating on Dashie. Busted. I just said I want, a dog to like play with. Like Dashie, me and Dashie are like work partners. Dashie protects me when I'm sleeping. I protect Dashie when, I'm awake. We have a Dashie's a god dog, and I'm his disciple. There is no god but Dashie." Jordan says, "Ha ha ha, Dashie." Brandon M says, "With MCP ranks, do things like secret rare sets and low mint carry weight over number of collectibles?" Well, it depends. I mean, a completed set will get you more collectibles. Every time you complete the set, you get an additional X amount of points. But I mean, if you spend, because I mean, again, with duplicates, it's, let's say you get like X amount of points for a Lady Deadpool, you get half the amount of points if you get a second one. Half, if you get a third, and then you just get so many less points. After like the third or fourth one, it's just like, is it even worth it? No, again, $3 per collectible for her. It might be better just to get the set. That doesn't help you get in the top 500, but it does help you get MCP points. But with MCP ranks, but yeah, secret rare sets and low mints, they do carry weight. So if you do have a secret rare, you get more points than if you have like an ultra rare. So let's say, for example, the Fantastic Four holiday greeting card. It's $50, but it's a secret rare, and it's a full set. Versus, let's say, the Aether. The Aether is an Infinity Stone, but it's an ultra rare. So even though the the Fantastic Four holiday card is cheaper, you get more points because it's a secret rare. Same thing. Let's say like the Veve. What is Veve? It's some weird character that's obsessed with holes from the Ant-Man Quantumania movie. It's like $32, but it's a secret rare. So you get a lot more points for a Veve than you do for, let's say, a Superman. And it's just like, okay, but Superman's like 10 times the amount of a Veve, but you get much less points because Superman's an uncommon, whereas Veve's a secret rare. And it's like, okay, well, what do you get, Superman or Veve? It's like, okay, well, what do you want more? What do you like more? I mean, most people like Superman. I like looking at Superman a lot more than I like looking at Veve. I have both, but if you don't care about looks and you don't care about money and you just want MCP points, get the Veve. But if you're like, hey, what's going to have the better ROI? Probably Superman. It's the first appearance. I guess it's first appearance Veve too, but nobody knows who the heck Veve is. I even forgot who Veve was, and I saw the freaking movie. Yeah. Anyway, I got a super chat. I'll come back to that comment, but I got a super chat from Taco Breaks. What's going on? Love you today. Saying, what's the difference between first appearance and first edition when first edition is actually the first appearance on the blockchain? Example, Minnie Mouse versus Platinum Moments. Well, let me take a drink first. So there is going to be, well, there's no debate about it. Here are the facts. The first appearance on the blockchain is whatever it is. It could be a comic book. It could be a poster. It could be a card, or it could be or it could be a statue. Now, the first appearance on the blockchain does not necessarily equate to first appearance of what they put on Veve. Now, if you're talking about, let's say, Darth Vader, what is Darth Vader's first appearance on the blockchain? Well, it's not the statue. It's the Star Wars comic. The Star Wars comic came out before the statue. And the comic has Darth Vader in it. So the first appearance of Darth Vader on the blockchain is the comic. Now, how many people really care about that? A small amount. There are probably people that do like, well, I want this. Now, are those people so close-minded that they don't recognize the first appearance label and the first appearance character? No, they probably all know that, okay, well, that's the first appearance of the character and there's the label of first appearance. But if there's people that are going to be nitpicky and they're going to be saying like, oh, hey, the first one that's actually on the blockchain is actually this. Now, there's going to be an even smaller group of people. A lot of people use it for FUD. I was like, oh, yes, well, actually, dare I say that the Veve NFTs are not technically NFTs because they're just in these roll-ups that are just on Immutable X and not on a layer 1 blockchain like Ethereum. How dare you people not be a coder and not be a dev and know this thing that only I know because I'm a dev. People are not they're not gonna care that whether it's on a layer 1 blockchain or a layer 2. It's just like, oh, hey, it's on the blockchain, it's an NFT, it's a collectible. They're just like, oh, well, if it's really a Web3 NFT, why can't you do like Rugrats NFTs and self-custody in your own wallet? Even though Rugrats NFTs are like 1/100th the amount of price, at least we can put them in our NFT wallet and like, again, nobody really cares. So you are going to have those people that are going to go and say, yeah, first appearance on the blockchain. And now that's a comic. What about a poster, like you're saying with Minnie? Okay, so Minnie has several posters. It's one set, but it's 5 of her posters. And that one poster, that secret rare, is um, extraordinarily scarce as opposed to the poster you have for the platinum moments. Which one are people going to want more? Well, I'll get to that in a second, but when you're talking about art, typically what they say for at least Vivi's argument, with the exception of a couple of collectibles like the Riso, which is a first edition, but that's an error, which is why I'm really bullish on the Riso, because it's the first error on the blockchain, at least on Vive, and the first Batman error. It's not supposed to be a first edition. It's supposed to be just nothing. The first appearance is the Todd, but the first appearance is the Todd, and first edition is supposed to be exclusive to artwork. So you have the Harley Quinn. I forget which one it's called, but there's like 500 of her. It's a first edition, even though it's an error. They left it on because they made a mistake. We'll leave it on. It's an error. So I'm really bullish on her as well. Stephen Pugh Harley Quinn. That's what it is. So the first editions outside of those two are specifically dedicated to artworks. The DeLoreans, any of the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Jaws, all of these are relegated to first edition because they're artwork. Same thing with Mini. Same thing with the lenticular cards. You have the first appearance of Pluto on the blockchain is a lenticular card, and it's a first edition. However, if there's going to be a Pluto NFT in the future, maybe a platinum moment, maybe something by itself, that statue of Pluto will be a first appearance, even though we've seen Pluto already in like a couple of comics and in on the blockchain before as a card, and then maybe as a poster at some point in the future as well. I don't know, but yeah, that's just the argument there. The blockchains of Minnie Mouse versus platinum moments, yeah. So that's what it is. So that's why I'm really bullish on Minnie Mouse platinum moments as well, is because even though the first appearance of her on the blockchain is via her posters, the first appearance label that what Vive is using to recognize first appearance is actually her platinum moment. So that's why I'm really bullish on her. So anyway, I hope that helped clear things up a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but my live says I've only been live for 27 minutes, and I'm pretty sure I've been live for like 2.5 hours. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, where was I? Or was I about to talk MCP things? Yep. Okay, so carry weight over number collectibles. So you do have low mints that I think it's the bottom 5% of the mints give you an extra MCP point advantage. So let's say if there are 5,000 mints, or let's say 1,000 mints of something, well, the bottom 50 get you the first, get you an additional bonus. Now, obviously, for most things, there are thousands of mints instead of just 1,000. But just to make it easier, say there's something that has 1,000 mints, the bottom 50, again 5%, give you that extra MCP bonus just for getting a low mint. So if you have something like, let's say Marvel Money, something that has 28,000 of it. So you have 28,800, I think it's 88, right? Times 0.05. If you have, let's say, a Marvel Mighty like Mr. Fantastic or The Thing, it's not just the top 50. The top 5% is actually the first 1,444. So if you have those, you do get an extra MCP bonus because it's in that top 5%. So I hope that helps. But again, like sometimes you have to weigh risk. Like, okay, do I get this sub 50 or sub 100 because it gives me an MCP bonus, or do I go and take what would be this extra $300, and do I just buy a heck ton more of commons, uncommons, rares, etc. You would get more points that way by getting a bunch of the uncommons, those the latter of that. Bioshock says, Randy, why do you like Marvel Mighty so much? Just wondering, what's your angle? I don't know. Well, I have two things. One theory is that, oh, hey, there's a lot of first appearances on the Marvel Mighties. So that's one. Two being, this is the longest running series of sets in a IP outside of I think James Bond might have more sets in it, because there's like 8 different things of posters, there's vehicles, there's other stuff like that. And you even have that 1 out of 7, ticket for James Bond, that golden ticket there. But the Marvel Mighty's like consistently is probably going to be more. And I feel like Marvel might have a plan if they're going to give their the first appearances away, and they have the longest running sets of these things. I believe there has to be something to that. And again, these the animated Storm, the animated Sue Storm, the animated Deadpool, all of the animated stuff, Captain America, they look better. They're fantastic. They are top tier, high quality. But which ones are better in the showroom? Honestly, a lot of the Marvel Mighties are more fun to play with. And I think other people will see that. And they're cutesy, like they're chibi. So I think a lot of girls will be brought on for that as well. But also, I don't know, they're cheap and they're fun to stack. And again, they're cheap and they're fun to stack. I got a super chat coming in from Taco Breaks. Again, saying season 1 Batman on Veve all came out at the same time. Why is Todd the first? I think it's just because Todd was the first one that actually happened to be minted. Even though that Eddie Rizzo is the #1, hashtag #1 Batman, they just happened to mint the Todd the first. Like he was the first one that was actually minted. They created him on the blockchain first. So even though that Eddie Rizzo has the #1 on him, they did the bookends. He was the #1. The Todd was the Todd was number 100. So they did the bookends at the first. The Todd happened to be the first one that was created digitally, so he's lived on the blockchain longer. It's kind of like, how when this one kid Danny, I don't know why I remember this. This kid Danny that was in like grade school with me. He's like, oh, I was born on December 22nd, so I'm older than Chavez that was born on December 15th. And I was like, this kid, like, anyway, and this lunch lady had to explain, no, like he's older because he was born before you. I think she was Russian. So even though the Eddie Rizzo has the #1 on him, the Todd was created first, so he's lived on the blockchain longer. That's why that happened. And then you have the other ones, the Clunan and the Joey Mats. That one, Todd was just created first, but I am still really bullish on that set because that is the first. So many layers to that. That set is just, impeccable. Anyway, that's why that was the reason for that. So where was I? Top 200 ranks. Yep, Dashi. Brandon Davis says, wish the token was the same as when I invested. I feel like they changed all the utility from something amazing to something poopy. Well, yeah, a lot did change, but let's go over this. Let's go over why they changed it. All right, so originally the utility for the token was Omi to gem, and you had all of the Omi being burned, and then the gems, being spent. Okay, so, well, if you take, let's say, someone that had $1,000 in Omi, and they use that to buy 1,000 gems, yes, the original tokenomics was that if you use your Omi to buy the gems, the Omi was burnt. The Omi is no more. Okay, so you give Omi, Veve gets nothing because Omi was being burnt, and then you get gems, and then you get to take these gems that Veve did not get anything for. There's no financial compensation for those gems. There's no even trade. But you get to take those gems that Veve got nothing, that Veve gave to you for nothing because they don't get anything, and you take those gems and you buy their product. Where do the licensors get their money? Where do Veve pay for taxes? Where do they have payroll? That particular setup was set up by the person that's in a lawsuit with the company because that person is a scammer. That person does not care about everyone else. They don't care about the company. They care about their own pockets. They cared about a pump and dump. So obviously, once it was realized, oh, hey, we're not going to make any money on this, they had to change it. Now, you are still going to get Omi for gem, but only a portion of it is going to be burned. You are still going to get Omi to NFT, but obviously, when you do that, only a portion of that is going to get burned. So in order to make up for all of that utility, all of that burning, they had to go and they say, okay, we have to do a whole bunch of things to incentivize people to use Omi and pay fees and get them to burn. because again, that original utility was great for the token, but Veve would have been bankrupt in like a month. They would have been bankrupt well before Marvel had come out and said, hey, we have a partnership with them. So that's why they had to change it originally. They've been working for quite a while on new utilities, one of which is going to roll out very soon. That's the Omi to NFT. Then you're going to have Omi to Gem. You're going to have Omi staking, or whatever new version they're going to have for staking. It's going to be really cool. So yeah, that's why they had to change a lot of it. Jordan Ray is saying, Brandon, eventually Omi will get more utility. It will. Gugu Blob says, what do you think about the PWCC authenticating Pokemon booster boxes? They open the seal and examine the packs to do so. I am not about that, fam. Listen, I understand. I'm going to take a drink of water for this. I understand that most people cannot look at a box and determine if it's real or not. Thankfully, because I've been in the industry for so long, I can tell, okay, these ridges make sense, this makes sense. Yeah. I can tell if a booster box is legit or not. If there is part of the reason why I just heard Dig Dug. Sorry. Part of the reason why I go and am against this is because part of the reason why you want to get that box is because it's clean, because it's unopened, because it's pure. Nothing's been inside of it. Let me ask you this. Do you want something that somebody else had their dirty hands in, or do you want something that's with a seal that's never been broken? Do you want something that's been untouched by someone? This is why I'm also very bullish on people, on NFTs that are from the store. I would rather spend the extra 10 or 15 gems to buy something from the store as opposed to buying something from the secondary market, because again, you're just going to have that thing of pureness about it. Now, again, most people will not think this way, but many people will. And many people will value buying an NFT that's only had one other owner as opposed to an NFT that's had like 6 or 7 other owners. Anyway, when I go and talk about the Pokemon booster, just because I'm a purist like that doesn't mean other people are. Maybe some people will be like, no, I want to pay for this PWCC mark, this seal that says they authenticate it. Because again, most people have not spent their life, their life living and breathing Pokemon, and they just want the product and they just want to know that it's real. Most people will probably pay for that, and that's fine. But for OGs out there and people like me, I would not pay for that. I would not want that. I would actively avoid boxes like that. Now, that's just me. If you're somebody that cannot tell by looking at it, holding it, like, oh, this is real versus like, this ain't it, fam, and you're worried about that, then I would say, okay, pay for that service and go and do that. But be advised, you'll only be able to sell it most likely to somebody that also doesn't care about that. You won't be able to sell it to people like me or other people that are in this business that can tell. So it's hard. Yeah. To each their own. Bill Gardner says the Guardians Christmas special is legit. The Santa song was so funny. They're definitely my favorite group. They're really good. I'm very much into. Yeah, the fact that I won't give away any spoilers, but that's a very good Christmas special. You really got to see Mantis as something other than. You just got to see them being really cool. They got to see them being really fun. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Brandon Davis says, how much longer is eventually? I don't know. Well, you'll get Omi utility probably in Q3. They are working on it this quarter. We probably won't get it this quarter, though. We'll probably get the Omi utility probably in Q3. I don't think it's going to be right there in, like July, but I would say by September we get it. Even if not, we should get that by August. Not by August, by Q4, early Q4. Jordan Reese says 6 to 12 months, in my opinion, for most of OUP to roll out. Omi NFT within 2 to 3 months. Jordan Reese is very optimistic about this. Taco Break says, still have not got Veve MCP points. When should we expect it? I know it's a super chat. Thank you for that. And I did answer that before, but just again, for people that missed it, everyone should have at least MCP beta this quarter. So if not the end of April, which is like 2 days away, definitely in May or June, everyone will get it in beta. Taco Breaks, another super chat saying, do you recommend a Marvel Mighty's holder? And again, I did answer this before, but for the people that weren't here, I will say that, buy what you like. But I think that some sets are better than others. Like, I think most sets are better than the Eternals. And I think that the Eternals might be better than the Deadpool chimichanga. I don't know. I love that thing so much, but it's not officially part of the series, and it's also not like officially. I don't know. It's a con exclusive, so it should have a little bit of a premium to it, but it's going 75% below retail. The Captain Carter, which is also a con exclusive, the first Marvel con exclusive, Marvel Mighty con exclusive, that is only going about 20% below retail. The chimichanga truck, and they have the same um, they have the same amount of mints, but the chimichanga truck is going for 70%, 75% below retail. People do not like that, and I don't know why. It's freaking awesome. But again, that's my opinion. But I will say that some sets are better than others. I like the Deadpool set. Deadpool and the X-Men Deadpool are not first appearances. You have uh you have Dogpool, which is cool. You have Howard the Duckpool. That's cool too. Lady Deadpool is one of my favorite characters. And then you have Deadpool, like the Deadpool, Zombiepool, whatever he's called. The first appearances, cool. I like it. I like them, but a third of them are not first appearances. And then again, unless you read comics, you don't really know who Lady Deadpool is. You don't really know who these characters are. Will you see them maybe in Deadpool 3? Possibly. But I don't know. I feel like the Spider-Man Deadpool or of the Spider-Man Mighties are a lot better because even though Spider-Man is not a first appearance, Green Goblin first appearance, Spidey Gwen first appearance, Spidey 2099, he's gonna be in Into the Spider-Verse 2, this one. Even though nobody cares about Jessica Drew, nobody really cares about Black Cat, even though I love Black Cat. On the whole, that has a lot more relatable and more popular characters than the Deadpool one. So, there are some sets that are better than others. They'll get a better ROI on. And I think that Marvel might have something planned for them, but I have zero evidence of that. David says, will we ever get interoperability with Veve? Yes. When? I don't know. The incorrigible Goat Slayer says, good evening, Sir Chavez Cat. Meow, meow, meow. Pew, pew. Meow, meow, Randy. Goo Blob says, have you heard of Illuvium? Yes, I have. There are people such as... there's a couple people. I think Tabs played that. I think Kyle played that. What's his name had played that? Oh my god, why am I derping on his name? Poor Man Printing. Amazing. I love that man. I most want to have a beer with that man. He is extraordinarily bullish on it. He had gone on and said that he actually spends most of his time on the beta version of it, even though that he knows, or the alpha version, even though he knows that that'll be done away with, and a new version will come out. Some people are very, very excited about that. The graphics look amazing. I don't have any of the tokens because a lot of the tokens had, they still remain to be unlocked. I'm just not a huge fan of that. But yes, I have heard the same. They're making Pokemon S game on the blockchain in beta. The monsters in beta look awesome. Curious what you think since you can catch and sell NFTs. Yeah, they look great. They look cool, and it's something that really could catch on. And they raised a lot of money selling land, so I do believe that they could do very, very well. Sleeping comments is Randy. Hi, Sleeping. I'm sorry, I'm getting back to you like an hour later. Still love you though. Philic137 says, what's good, Randy? Yo, what's good, Philic? I hope everyone's doing well tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Taco Breaks, thanks for the super chat. Says, we have 4 lightsabers at F5, but I think that's a typo. Says, when should we expect the Jedis to wield them? Again, because... Oh, I'm just stretching here. Oh, sorry, I'm sitting on this bed. I would say that because these are much bigger characters than Infinity Stones, that you might have this might take a couple years to get all these characters, and even if we get, let's say, a Luke Skywalker, that doesn't mean we can't get a young Anakin to also get a Skywalker lightsaber, or that doesn't mean we can't get a Rey, Palpatine Skywalker to wield that as well. Now, Ahsoka Tano is going to have her lightsabers. I really wish we get a Darth Maul. You're going to have, obviously, Mace Windu for the Mace Windu one, but you could get 2 people to have the Yoda lightsaber. You have Yoda, and then you have Grogu. They could both wield his lightsaber. And then, obviously, you have Kylo Ren for the other one, for his lightsaber. Anywho, moving on. Christopher Martin says, so much for Kyle's $10 Omi token. He was such a cheerleader for the project. Now he's just wah, wah, wah. Yeah, I mean, I still do believe that $10 Omi is possible, but I've always said that it probably won't be until the mid to late 2030s. That's quite a long time away, and you have to burn a whole bunch of Omi for that to happen. Or you have to have a whole bunch of stuff. Probably a bit of both. Sleeping Comic says, I like the Deadpool truck. First appearance, mighty vehicle. Dude, I love it. I only have two of them, but I think it's great. But yeah, some people don't like it. I don't know why. Bioshock says Dogpool is my favorite mighty. He is really cool. I really like Dogpool. Again, they're missing Headpool and they're missing Kidpool. I really, really want maybe another Deadpool set because there's so much else that could be done. Bill Gardner, thank you so much for the super chat saying, sorry, Gamora, it's not personal, but a soul for a soul. It's so good. It's so heckin' good. I cannot wait. And again, we are going to get more details about it on Monday. So maybe they go and they give us Marvel Mighty's announcement on there as well. Jeremiah Aoyang's always posting. He's doing some good stuff. Okay, do that sometimes as well. Moving on here. Brandon M says, I think the Ant-Man set gives you 16 points a day. That's cool. 16 points a day. That's pretty legit. Trying to think, I think the best one is the Disney posters because they're all secret rares. Those give you a large amount of points per day. I think the worst one, like for money I think is actually the Superman because he's so much money and he's an uncommon, so he's not a lot of, yeah. It's you get the same amount of points for getting a Superman or getting a Captain Carter. Captain Carter's like $20, Superman's like several $100s. So yeah. Taco Breaks, thank you for the super chat saying, when do we get Wolverine #1 comic? I'm really hoping this year, but it is possible we might have to wait a year and a half for the Deadpool 3 because he's going to be in that. But again, they could drop it at any moment. Who knows? Christopher Merton says, yeah, I think that Eternals were just a complete bust. Wasn't excited when the movie came out. I just don't see them going anywhere. Too far off from the main Marvel path. Which, again, some of their stories are really heckin' cool. They do have a role to play in Secret Wars. They have a big role to play, obviously, in X-Men versus Avengers versus Eternals. They have a lot of cool characters. They have a lot of cool stories. They have there's so much awesomeness in there. Again, they just kind of, with the... And again, you had a really good cast. You did have, oh, God, what's her name? Angelina Jolie. Oh, God, I love her so much. And then you had Selma Hayek, which, oh, my God, freaking mommy. Oh. Sorry, that's just, and again, it just didn't do that well. Christopher Martin says, you walking around your house reminds me of my house next to LAX where all the floors were creaking. Yep. Yeah. Taco Breaks says, why did David tell you the Deadpool truck? Thank you for the super chats. Again, he didn't really tell me to get it. He just asked if I got it. And when I said I did, he just got really excited. And I don't know. That could have just been his baseline, him saying, just being excited. Or it could be like, oh, you got it? We're doing something with them. Again, you don't really know which one. Christopher Martin says, Ewoks. Ewoks would be great. Christopher Martin says, Solo will be the bigger piece. Yeah, Han Solo is really dope. I hope so, man. He's so cool. Taco Breaks, thank you again for the super chat saying, Platinum Moments are out. Who is the next first appearance you'd like to see? I really would like to see Simba, and I really would like to see the Grogu. But again, I really hope we don't get them for several months because I need monies now for other stuff. Moving on. Bill Gardner says, got that whole Krypton set. Feel like that's going to be an OG thing. I really like that set as well. And we don't know how many of those are in bots accounts and how many of those are in just accounts that are locked up. I'm really bullish on that. Well, I don't want to say I'm bullish on it. I just really like it because you have a bunch of people that watch Supernatural. You have a bunch of people that are into this local lore that spend their time on a Reddit Glitch in the Matrix or Reddit No Sleeps or creepypastas that are just all about these things, or people that like UFOs and Bigfoot. There's a Bigfoot NFT on there. People that really like that type of stuff are going to go ham on it. They're going to be like, listen, I've studied this all my life. I love it. I can get this in digital format. I can play with them. Freaking dope. There's a dude that was like a teacher that claimed, I need to drink for this, so I'm going to tell this story. Also, haunted military TikTok. So good. Anyway, and this is like 20, 30 years ago. There's a person that was a teacher that had gone camping. I think he'd actually gone hunting, camping, hunting, whatever, with like his boys. And there was they thought it was like a bear that they had seen that was like, hey, you don't want to mess with a bear. because bears are, they like I remember this Carlos Mencia bit where like lions are big, lions are great, even elephants don't heck with lions. Like if you see the mama lion or the mama elephant talking to the baby elephant, eat you, he'll freaking eat you. Pretty much same with bears. You have meese. You have moose that are 1,500 pounds that do not mess with bears, and they can run in the snow. They have these giant ass horns. And moose will crush your car. You can crash into a moose, and moose will be like, my ankle, and your car will be totaled. They don't mess with grizzlies. They don't mess with bears. So when these group of hikers, campers, hunters saw what they thought was a bear, they shot it. It makes a sound. They're like, oh my god, we got it. So they go to their house. They go to the cabin that they had rented. I think it's fine. Okay, it's cool. Okay, it's laid out. It's dark out already. We'll just settle in for the night, and then hour and a half later, like suddenly this just wild scream, this like nature. Oh god, like what is like tribal, or what's that called when you I can't say that, primal like scream. Like what is that, the bear? Does it come back? And they saw it through the lightning outside when the sky lit up, when all the lightning and thunder came down. They saw Bigfoot, or so they say. Now this seems like a relatively normal guy, the one that had written all these books. Was college educated, was educated in general, and you just seemed normal. And then he says, listen, I have to write these books. I have to tell people about this. And why would this seemingly normal person give up everything in his life to like tell people about Bigfoot? You think people like that, now how many people are like that? Probably not a lot, but they're going to go ape for this stuff. There's like, oh my God, they're going to, I've loved this type of stuff since I was younger. I've been searching for like Bigfoot videos on YouTube since like 07, because it's cool. I've watched all the footage. I've watched everything. It's just dope. And there are a lot of people like me, and they will get some. And I'm not making the case for like, yo, buy all the Bigfoot you can right now. Buy all these Cryptons now. They're going to moon in the future. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's just cool and it's fun and I like them and other people like them as well. And that there might possibly, if you have a couple of sets that you're buying down here, they might double or triple in the future. I think there's many other things that will do much, much better ROI-wise. But, they just, again, just my 2 cents on things. We got Alleyboy760. What's up, Alleyboy? Saying, I wish Mr. Pags would do another one with you. Brilliant dude. And Coco. Yes, that was the other dude. So Wes came out with a status the other day. Or it wasn't even a status. It was just, they were replying to, Veve had posted something about the April 27th, 5 years ago. And they're talking about the gauntlet. Wes had said, I'm so heckin' bullish on Veve. And Pags had just said idiot. And I was like, oh man, that's a little mean. So I was like, well, if Wes is an idiot for being bullish on Veve, I guess I'm an idiot too. And then Pags responded, he's like, no, I was just messing with Wes. I don't think you're an idiot. I'll get him on again at some point. He's been notoriously bearish. He's been selling a bunch of his low mints. I got a sub 50 Falcon, his first appearance Falcon against Marvel Mighty. I got a sub 50 of him for like 40 or 50 bucks. I was like, oh my God, I'd snipe that right away. Like, Pags, what is you doing, fam? Like, oh baby, what is you doing? And then he's like, what's he selling for? I don't know. We'll see. Pumpgui says, there's very little supply on the market compared to edition sizes. Yes, correct. Now, that might be because some people just don't want to sell at these levels. And if something that's worth $5 suddenly goes to $10, maybe they do sell. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Or there's some people that, again, you do have some collectors on this app. You do have people like, oh, I got my set. Again, even some of my whales, some of them are buying more down here. But a good half of them are like, listen, Chavez, I listened to you. You told me to buy at these levels. I put my investment in. So even though a lot of them bought between 002 and 005, they have their position and they don't want to buy down here. Some other people are like that with collecting. They're like, listen, I got my NFT and I'm not gonna buy down here because I have my position. Well, I'm not gonna sell down here either. So some people just, they buy a couple of things and they don't sell. Probably because they don't need to, because who needs like $10? But also because, they want it. They have it. And even if it was, $100, do they need to sell that? No, they just want it and they have it and they have to enjoy it. A lot of times when you sell, especially down here, you're not going to get these for the same price again. You're just not. And I think people know that. So as the price goes up, you might see some more people selling. But yeah, not right now. Bill Gardner says, I've noticed the comic supply is vastly dwindling. Yeah, I've been buying a bunch of them. Bill Gardner says, I think it was Loki Origin comic, had like 60,000 editions, like 300 for sale on all rares. Oh my god. Yeah, because you also have a bunch of people trying to get in that top. You have a bunch of people trying to get in the top 500. You have a bunch of people that are trying to stack rails because everything's so low right now. Like I said, I went through all the comics before. There's nothing to really get. I'll go to so what you can do on the market, which I wish you could do for comics, but you can't. So I'm on the market now, right? And I'm going to go to collectibles. It shows me whatever it shows me. It's going to show Labids, new things, whatever. So I'm going to click these two things, and I'm going to put. Well, first I'm going to make that say 0. So if anyone listed at like 1 penny, you can click lowest value up there. So I'm going to click lowest value. I'm going to put that in. And so the Tesseract is not the lowest value. This is not. That's 50. I don't know why that puts that, or even a Batman. But you see an Earth Day stamp. It's going to be like 258, right? It's 254. I was close. And then you can go and see a Holiday Elf stamp. I feel like this is going to be like $3. Oh, it's 270. And then you have a Lunar Year of the Rabbit. This might also be 270. It's 272. So the lowest one is obviously the Earth Day stamp at 254. And I would be buying all the Earth Day stamps. I did buy a lot of the Lunar Year of the Rabbits. I'll show you my Lunar Year of the Rabbits real quick. I have, and again, I had the full set of the Lunar Year of the Rabbits because I like this stamp. I like the years of, the Chinese zodiac. But I have 45 editions of that stamp. Why? Because it was super cheap and I could stack them. And when I sell, if I want to sell, whatever, it's not as much of a fee as it is for the comics. But again, why would I buy something for $275? Buy 10 things for $275, that's $27.50. But if I buy 10 things that are $2, it's just $20. I save that extra $7, and with those extra $7, I could buy a couple more of these. So that's why I do it. Let's take a look at Powers of X #1. That is $2.40. Captain America Fallen Sun with Captain America cover is $2.05. It doesn't have to be $1.09. Even if it's $2, even if it's $2.02, I'll spend some money on it because these are going very, very quickly. The floors of there's going to be a point in time on this app where there are no collectibles or comics that are under $3.50, $4. Now that might not seem like a lot. It's like, okay, so, all right, so this Astonishing X-Men #1 is $2. So I bought that because, that's like the cheapest comic I could find right now. But if suddenly everything, the cheapest right now is about $2, maybe a little over. When suddenly that goes from $2 to $4, like, okay, well, it's still super cheap. You're right. But if you're buying hundreds of these things, that adds up to hundreds or thousands of dollars. And you're, no. It just adds up really, really quickly. Let me try the Thor. All right, Thor Love and Thunder, $2.14. All right, Captain America Casket, this one, $2.09. The Marvels #1 is $2.10. Yeah, there's a lot of these. It's a lot. And they're getting more expensive. Taco Breaks, thank you for super chat. The difference between first appearance, first edition, when first edition is actually the first appearance on blockchain, example Minnie Mouse for Platinum Moments, is really just going to be public perception. again, do you want a Darth Vader that says first appearance on it, or do you want a Star Wars comic where it's technically Darth Vader's first appearance on the blockchain, even though it doesn't say first appearance on it, just says first edition, and there's a whole bunch of them. You're gonna want the actual Darth Vader, thing. Same thing with I think Mini. Even though Mini's first appearance on the blockchain was the posters, posters are cool, but most people would really rather have the collectible. So that's where I think it comes in. Brandon Davis says, what about the lawsuit that Cavill is talking about? Listen, that lawsuit that Cavill is talking about, Cavill has zero idea what he's talking about. There is, in no universe, in no scenario, does Veve have to give 64 billion only to anybody. That is absolute fake news. Either Cavill is horrendously misinformed or he's straight up lying, intentionally fighting to try to lower the project, whether it be because he's being paid by Quid, or just because he's trying to get in lower, or just because he's being dictated. Again, that is absolutely false. There is no scenario in which they have to give up that much only. Ever. Not even close. No reason why anyone should be worried about that. Christopher Merton says, ha ha ha, everybody was pooping their pants about the clowns. That was hilarious. Dude, it was wild. And again, I wasn't here for it. I would have loved to be here part of it. And I'll tell you why. Tell me why. Heartache. Tell me why. So part of it is because I don't like clowns. I've said this story before, so apologies if you've heard it before, but fight me. I was a rambunctious little kid, and I wanted to be cool. I want to be older. My cousin was talking about the movie It at one point. And I wanted to be cool like him, and I wanted to watch it. The old school TV series from the 80s. And I had, in Blockbuster, in like 1998, give or take, I was like 7 years old, give or take. I had seen the movie It, or the TV series on the shelf at Blockbuster. And let's say here is where the R rating was. I was like, hey, Mom, can I get this? And I used my fingers to cover the R rating. Or maybe I was like, I use it with my thumb, whatever it was. Can I get this? She's like, what is this? Now, I don't know about y'all. Now, from what Sleeping Comics has told me, that you either saw a movie in theaters or you didn't see the movie, because there was no DVDs, obviously, clearly. DVDs weren't really a thing until like 2000. There were no VHS tapes, because VHS wasn't a thing until like the 90s. Maybe some people had Betamax, or Beta, I think it was called. But really, up until like the mid to late 80s, there really wasn't any of that. But it, again, wasn't really a movie, it was a TV series. But if I knew about it, I feel like a lot of other people, especially people that were alive in the 80s, like an adult in the 80s, they probably had heard about it. Maybe my mom was oblivious and just didn't actually know what the movie was. But I was really like, oh, yes, it has John Ritter in it. Now, I knew she'd like John Ritter from the Cheers series, Cheers. Or was it Cheers, or Welcome Back, Kotter, I think it was. Whatever series that John Ritter was in, before he was in 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter, before he was in other stuff. Anyway, he's a comedian. He's funny. Everyone loves him. So I tried to be cute, cover my thing. I was like, oh, it has John Ritter, and it's supposed to be really funny. And she's like, okay. No, she either didn't know what the movie was, or she thought like, oh, this little brown child is trying to win one over on me. He's trying to think that, I'm not going to know what this is. I'm going to show him. I'm going to let him watch it. And she let me watch it, and I was fudged up forever. Now, why? That is a scary movie at the time, especially for a 7-year-old. So I don't like clowns. I've not liked clowns ever since. So when after I come into my own, I start boxing. I'm in the military, and I hear, now I'm in a deployed location, I hear that clowns are terrorizing my hometown. Oh, let me at them. Freaking at them. I will murder these, So, of course, I want to go back and fight these clowns. And then by the time I get back, Like there's no clowns left. Same thing with Pokemon Go. I was just I want it on on the on the Veve app. I want Doink the Clown on the Veve app. I want the new series of it on the Veve. Anyway, same thing with Pokemon Go. When I got back, the hype had gone down. I was so salty, so salty. I was still forever salty. Bill Gardner says, lawsuit, is anyone taking Cavell seriously anymore? Hope he rides off on the horse he came in on. Ho ho. Taco Breaks, thank you for super chats. Season 1 Batman on Veve all came out at the same time. Why is Todd first? I answered this before, but I will again for people that weren't here. It's just the fact that Todd happened to be made digitally and lived on the digital platform before anyone else. They just made him first. I don't know why they did that. They just happened to, like, all right, we'll do the Todd. Maybe because he was most popular. He was more well-known. It's like, oh, we'll make him the first appearance. And it was. So it is. Very bullish on it. Bill Garner saying, can't wait for Rocket to put up with my many crews. Oh, dude, I cannot wait for Rocket. I love him. He's so cool. He's so funny. He's so, like, he steals things. He's just adorable. I love him. Veve Pusky says, at Taco Breaks, the T said Todd was first to be minted at the Fortune Batman for shop. NFTs is partner statue for the win. Partner statue is one of the things I'm very bullish on, like easily in the top 5 NFTs on this app. Especially, not even just for historical significance, but for ROI as well. People are going to go ape for that. Bill Gardner saying, love the chimichanga truck. Got a number 56. Oh, I want a sub 100 of that so badly. I don't have the gems. I mean, like, even if you wanted a chimichanga truck, like, let's go over this real quick. Chimichanga truck, which again, the floor would make you think that, oh, this is not really a good item to get, because even though the retail was at 40, it's only going for $11. But if you take a look at the sub 100s, there is 3 of them up for sale, and the cheapest one is 133. Now you can get a sub 50 for 250, but you know, it's still expensive. I don't think the sub 100s are really worth more than like $60 or $70. Let's say 75. You know, that's 60 something gems more expensive to get a sub 100. Now, granted, you know, if you really want one and you're just like, I just want a sub 100, sure, get one. I just don't, yeah. Brandon Davis says, just wish my bags would pump. They will eventually, but just not right now. Stan says, thanks. Of course, it's ours. Azza says, I feel like a lot of the comics are going to be locked away just for MCP. You're probably right. There's going to be a lot of them. Zaid says, what do you think about the Rabbids collectibles on Veve? I really like those. I know they're not first appearance on the blockchain, even though they are first appearance on the Veve app. I like them. They're cool. They have a really cool and interesting story. They're kind of like the Minions before the Minions were Minions. They're just dope. I don't have them. I will get them eventually at some point. Just gotta wait for Omi to Moon though. Stephen Duarte says, what if the sacrifice for the Gauntlet is the secret rare comic that just came out? That's possible. You could be able to burn that for it. I mean, why else bring that out as first appearance of Infinity Gauntlet? That is very possible. Who knows? Chaco Solis says, Randy! What's up, Chaco? How's it going? Stephen Duarte says, I picked up one just in case. Let's see what the market for the comics is. I'm gonna take a look at the Thanos one. All right, the commons are $2. Oh, actually, I'm gonna buy one because it's only $2. I bought one. But again, there's a lot. There's like 10,000 of these, right? Yeah, it's 10,000. I don't think you're gonna have to have 10,000 soul stones. You know, I think you're only gonna, if they do, God, people are gonna get the cheapest ones. I don't think anyone's gonna burn a secret rare for a soul stone. I think they could burn. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could relegate it to something like that. Who knows? We'll see. Zaid says, what do you think about the... Oh, I just read that. Duarte picked one up just in case. Nice, and thank you, Django. Ali Boy says, watch the show from MGM+. Watch what show? Let me know. G-Flow says, what do you think about 25-cent Omi? Is that possible next bull run? Well, anything's possible, but 25 cents is a lot. I mean, let's say if you have no burns, we'll work worst case scenario backwards. No burns, a 10-cent OMI is a $30 billion market cap. Now, I think that's very, very doable, but $30 billion or 31 billion if there's no burns, maybe 30.5 billion, 30 billion, 500 million, because we are going to burn about 5.5 billion OMI just from Veve in general. They're doing that, lighting that on fire from the business dev wallet. And they could possibly do more in the future. But that being said, when you take a look at when you take a look at the other amount of burns, there probably aren't going to be too many others. We're probably going to get below the 300 billion OMI mark. So let's say we're at 300 billion in general with burns. That's still a $30 billion market cap. Now, why do I think that's possible? Because in the last bull run, you had Sandbox and Mana, which is Mana is the token for Decentraland. They had reached collectively about a $19 billion market cap. And Veve has so many more users. Like, there has never been a token that was associated with this type of app with so much, with not just a product, but a super successful product that's going to be global. This is really right now, really just America and Europe, and some places in other countries, but there's no Asia yet. There's no localization yet, and there's going to be. This is, in my opinion, going to be extraordinarily popular. And there's going to be a whole lot more money coming into this, a lot more burns. But there's a lot more active users on Veve than there are on Decentraland or in Sandbox. So I think that you minimum get double the amount of what they got, which if they had a $19 billion market cap combined, a $38 billion market cap for Veve or for OMI is, I think, very reasonable. So I think 10 cents, but again, to get 25 cents, let's say we're at that 300 billion mark. Okay, well, 30 billion is 10 cents. Okay, so that would mean an extra 5 billion, or an extra 5 cents would be 15 billion, right? So a $60 billion market cap would be 20 cents. That would mean you would have to have a $75 billion market cap to reach 25 cents. And I'm not saying we can't get there. I'm just saying that that is very, very high. And we would be in the top 20. And now, obviously, now we'd be in the top 10, but obviously, this is a bear market. What's it going to be like in the bull market? Well, the bull market, well, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Just, I'm going to look at this. We're going to go towards the CoinGecko, and we're going to take a look at market cap. Right, right now, if we were to be a $75 billion market cap, we'd be the number 4, token. But I believe that in the bull market, a $75 billion market cap would probably not even be in the top 10. Probably in the top 20, definitely, the top 15. But that's just how much money is going to go into it. Now, I'm not saying we get to that $75 billion market cap. I think, let's say half of that, at 37.5, I think that's very possible. Which would be about 12.5 cents, give or take. Oh, no. The $30 billion. Yeah, it'd be like 12.5, maybe 15 cents. So 10 cents is kind of like my base case for it. And then that's, but that's being slightly bullish on it. In a bullish scenario, that's my base case. Oh, where was I? Zaid says, what about the first Rabbids drop on the blockchain? Most other drops, on other platforms, people don't typically care about. They might in the future, but it's just Rabbids don't really have a huge following. Now, it's great because there's a lot of video games out there, there's a lot of lore out there, but it's just not a huge following. Ubisoft in general has a huge following, but I would rather the Rabbids on Veve. If I get the ones on the other platform, I don't get any MCP points for that. I don't get to be put in the top 500. It helps to get the stuff on Veve. There's a lot of incentives to get the stuff on Veve, as opposed to the other stuff. Steven Duarte says, I would, but I'm a Veve addict. Steven Duarte says, I just wish my MCP would activate since I have 247 sets and would love to know my points. You're going to have hundreds of thousands, if not 1 million points. Steven Duarte, you're going to have a ton. Just to show you where you're probably going to land, I have 62 sets, and I have almost 360,000 points. So yeah, you're going to have a lot. Anyway, I've been talking for about 3 hours, so I'm going to go. Taco Breaks and Bill Gardner, thank you so much for the super chats. Those do mean the world to me. They really do. They help me. And everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. Thank you all for being here today. It really means the world. I love you all. Thank you for all the like. Give me one more like, because I'm at 49 likes. Give me one more like, so I get to number 5. 50. 50. Give me 50 likes. I think that'd be great. Zay says, yeah, true. Also on the Veve, the rabbits are super rare. Very undervalued in my opinion. Yes, I really enjoy them. I really like them. Thank you so much, everyone. I guess I'll stick with the 49 likes for right now. Get into another count or whatever and get my 50th. Bye, guys. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow.